07 song? What do you mean 07 song? Why are you saying fired? Wait, did he say I'm about to get fired? Oh, that's why you're saying it. Oh. Bro, shut up. Shut up. What else we got? What else we got? Co-streamer. Since NRG beats TL, and TL nearly beat T1, then NRG can destroy Gen G tomorrow. Yeah, that's about right. Someone help Piosik. Bro, that basically sums up Piosik's world so far. That image sums up his world championship. He's just stuck. Someone let him out. Pedro's earrings. When someone says, wow, you're up early, but you actually just didn't sleep at all. Found this on Hans's Wikipedia. He was born in 1998 or 1999. He's 23 or 24. What do you mean? You're not sure? How does that make sense? Riot is donating for every Ocean Drake. Every Ocean Drake down that Worlds will do a donation from AWS Cloud to Water to help expand safe water across the worldwide. Ocean Drake is the second to last most dropped Drake. Can we fix that? Riot, so we can save the environment and my pick'ems. Please.
The burn, it soon feels like the reality. Tongue lash out over the wall. Gobbled up. What does he taste like? A free kill.
Can we maybe... Wait a second. Okay,
oh, what the fuck? I just screenshotted. My body just did a screenshot.
No flash. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Big ol'. Okay, Baron.
You hear that?
Nice work, boys.
Yo.
Welcome back, everybody. That was
welcome.
honestly quite convincing out of NRG, and kind of the
That was a
prophecy
stomp.
of what
It
Kobe
wasn't
spelled
convincing, it
out
was a
for us in
stomp.
the mid lane just came true.
Palafaker strikes again. Honestly, that was brutal for APA from the very beginning.
Oh, bro, I can message
Oriana solo
I can
killed
message.
that early on.
Wait.
You can definitely tell it warped
There's
the
a homie
entire
right
game.
now.
Yeah,
There's a
it was
homie
bit of a
that
mid-diff. We were joking
I have a
about how, like,
homie
that's not how
in the
Oriana
T1
Syndrome
building that
matchups
said if I
typically
need
go.
anything I can message
I wonder
him.
if he's been learning something in
Yo.
scrims against some of the top mid
It's
laners.
funny, because talking to Palafox, he was talking about
Do
playing
you
against
know-
Xiaohu and Caps both in that specific matchup when I was asking him.
You
And talking
can
about the
grab
players that
me.
will ego on you and move up and dodge your Q forward. And none of them actually resulted in a level 2 solo kill, though. So
Props to him.
Yeah, I think we're standing by to talk to Palafox in just a second, but now my
In
power
fact, Ocean
rankings
Drake is
are
tied for the
all up
third
in the
most
air, because
Drakes.
this TL
Wait, really?
Wait to the top.
29
where's
and Infernals
T1?
at 31?
Because TL
Wait, Ocean's
actually
catching up.
Tested them very closely, so
Yo, hold
yeah,
up.
I mean, what we've gathered is that NA having a great tournament so far. Kobe, thoughts?
Wait.
2 wins.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Ocean
2
Drake
wins.
is third?
Yes, you know, yeah, I think it's a pretty good showing. And now,
Damn.
NRG find themselves at a 1-on-1 position. Depending on who loses and who wins, plenty of opportunities to move into a good spot. I still have high hopes for the first seed of NA.
Me too, and I hear Palafaker is ready, so let's send it over to the Verizon post-game interview.
Palafaker. Wait, he said sure, iced or
And
hot?
we're back here at Wells in the
Iced.
interview area
Iced with-
with Palafaker, Palafox. Thank you so much for joining
Bro,
me.
how cool is that?
Of course. It's been a great day so far.
Yeah, it's been a great day so far, and it's been a great year for you. I can believe as you win your first title in NA, you win your first Worlds participation as well. What have been the highlights of your run at Worlds so far, from the moment you arrived, bootcamp and everything, and the first 2 games you've played?
From boot camping to arriving, I think it's just been like it's been so great scrimming like the
What is
Asian
this?
teams. I think back in my first year of LCS, when I was on a different team completely, it was always just like my dream to go up against international mid laners and just compete with them at like an equal level, right? And I mean, yesterday against Yahoo, I think I was just a little bit nervous, and today I kind of got over my nerves a little bit. I don't want to go out with any regrets, so yeah, just kind of played like that today.
You mentioned Xiaohu and the Asian mid laners. I think something that honestly had a lot of noise on social media was the comment Xiaohu made about you, about the scrims and everything, and the potential you have.
Oh,
What does it mean to
Jojo.
you to have a mid laner of his caliber praising you like this, especially given the amount of work you put in over the past 2 years?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of put a smile to my face for the last day. I kind of just want to, I guess, live up to it, you know, at this point.
You said that a year ago, if someone told you that you were going to participate to Worlds, you would have called them a liar. How do you reflect on the progress you made, the player that you became, and if you could talk to yourself from 1 year ago, what would you say?
If I say what I think, I'll be suspended
Hold
for
on,
6
don't change a
months.
thing. If I knew I was going to Worlds from the start, I would just say, like, honestly, all the experiences that I went to, even like slacking a little bit, led me to probably having a better mental in scrims and being a better teammate overall. So
Oh, you
don't change a
Palafox
thing,
looks like such
but
a nice
put more
guy.
pressure on yourself at the beginning of the boot camp. That's all.
It's honestly inspiring, Palafox, to see journeys from players like you and the progress and efforts that you guys
Yeah, he
put
looks
in.
humble
But
as
at the
hell.
moment we're talking right now, you don't have the opponent that you will face off against on Sunday. So I want to focus on the team, the improvements. What are the adjustments that
Wait,
you will
all
be looking
NA
at
teams at Worlds have
for the
NA
last
mids.
game on Sunday and to make it count and to win it?
No, they don't.
hopefully?
MNS, never mind.
For me, I think it's just making sure everybody on my team is comfortable with the position they're in the game.
Never mind.
And
Never mind.
just playing fundamentally like sound. I think that I think NA gets a lot of flack for like going for like more risky plays, and then if you play against Asian teams, they're just playing fundamentals and like not dying to the plays, and then they just get a massive lead, you know. So it's just making sure we're not like nervous, desperate, and like calming down my teammates in game and making sure we
Text Flowers and get his ass
Being
back
a
to
cool head
tweeting.
and staying focused. Thank you so much for the interview and welcome to World.
Yeah. Hi Zeb.
Who's Zeb?
Love the shout out there. I would also say that advice that he gave to his own team there, they should
Who's
apply
Zeb?
that in NA.
His girlfriend?
Because in
Oh.
NA too, they need to calm
Shox-
down in quite a
Shox
few
was
of
like,
their
"Hi."
games
Okay.
to get some consistency. So
Yeah, I loved hearing from him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But now we're moving on to our next matchup, and I'm really excited about this one. Cloud9 is taking on LNG. They both had a fantastic day one, and
No, I didn't mean it like that, chat.
Shox
Shox is just being funny.
usually are from NA in terms of
'Cause I think she probably didn't know who that was either.
international performance, Fetty, and they opened up Worlds by absolutely
right,
dominating
chat.
our Mad Lions.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that C9 smash Mad, LNG smash Fnatic. Let's
Yeah.
see
All right,
how
chat,
well they
this
do
game
against
is
each other.
really
But
important.
C9, they really impressed me with
If
their drafts
C9
coming
win
into
this
yesterday.
game,
I think
this
they
could
really
be
tore apart
huge.
what Mad wanted to do. And I think that just
If
the
they lose
small
this game,
adaptations
it's
that they
over.
made, in particular with
They're
how
done.
they were able to flex the Cassante into the mid lane.
Actually, what if
in particular
C9
that
draws
Ahri,
NRG?
To me, it was very clear
Wait, if
that they
C9
wanted to take
loses,
this
they're
away
1-1.
from Mad
NRG are
Lions and
1-1, they can
prevent
draw it.
Nisqy from playing
Bro,
way
the
that he
draw
wants to
today
play,
could
that
be even
roaming
worse than
style, that
yesterday.
Working with his jungler
You
to
could
handle
have
the impact
C9
on the map.
versus
It felt like
NRG.
that they mitigated Mad Lions' entire
You could
early
have
game setup.
like
And I
Mad
think the
versus
Mad Lions
G2
really
or
had very
BDS
limited
versus
tools to
G2.
do much in the early
You
game,
could have like
giving
Damwon
C9 so
versus
much
Gen
control
G or
and freedom to
T1.
play the comp the way they
Because
want.
one
I
LCK
love that
team
you
will
bring
win,
this
one
up
will
because
lose.
From all the NA fans watching,
One NA
as soon as
team
these
will win,
picks are locked
maybe
in,
one
we're
will
like,
lose.
oh,
One
it's
EU
gotta
team
be
will win,
Blabbers
maybe
Talia.
G2
He
loses.
loves
Oh
Talia.
my
It's
god.
gotta be MNS with the Cassante
You could have
mid,
a horror
and they're
draw
able
again.
to do these flexes. I feel like with a little bit of research, you would be able to also have that feeling and kind of see that one coming. But it worked out magnificently for them.
It did, and we did put a magnifying glass on Blabber versus Elyoya in that matchup. I believe we have a telestrator also to kind of demonstrate
my
rather
glasses
how
are
that
dirty.
went.
I mean, we just wanted to run through like how the early game went so in favor of Blabber because very early on, you'll be able to see Elyoya try to set up some sort of level 2 play to punish the enemy jungle. And his whole early game plan was to move from blue buff into the enemy
was
and
so
then
unlucky.
look for an early kill. Immediate flash from Blabber, but the problem that they have is that with no priority in mid lane, it's very difficult for this mid laner of Mad Lions to actually come down and assist Elyoya in this invade, which means that Blabber is able to do full clear, gets information that Jarvan is now pathing up towards the top side jungle.
mods,
He's able to secure
mods.
the double scuttle, again, thanks to the mid prio that they have. I mean, you'll see it as he's walking working through the lane, and M&S is there to support. So
Smoke
the
'em.
laners work with Blabber, the Blabber then works with his laners, and C9 are able to mount this insurmountable jungle gap that ends up becoming very difficult for Mad to come back from.
Yeah, I love it because it's such a perfect picture of them. Blabber
All right,
does
big pace
not
now,
even
big pace.
hesitate. He, as soon as he sees the flag, just flashes forward and then keeps on
Super
power
pace
farming
now.
with Talia. Is such a good champion for that power farming, and then that turns into objectives as well, which ended up being the big reason Cloud9 had such an easy time in
Gala
this game.
Penta.
Their advantage getting the early dragons, getting that first Rift Herald.
It's
and to your
crazy to
point
me that
about
there's
working with the
40K
lanes
people
as
here. Like,
well,
what is wrong
that
with you
flex
guys?
pick of the Cassante in mid
You're
lane
mental.
for M&S turned up
What
huge.
is this
We even
emote?
got the listen in Mad's comms where they were talking
Expect
about,
DD.
oh man, it's really rough. We can't, really
Need to
do
zoom
much
in more
around
on
Rift
his
Herald
face.
right now
Do it again, but
because
zoom in on his
Cassante
face
is so
more.
strong as well. And you got
Zoom
to
in on
see
his
the
face
synergy
more.
of this team.
You did, and we do have to parlay it into their current matchup, LNG. LNG absolutely dominated Fnatic. I already said that about C9 Mad, but it was even more dirty, I want to say. Scout just destroyed them, Tarzan and Scout together. So I want to know about the playstyles that we're going to see. We yesterday saw a C9 that was very, very macro-focused, right? They didn't
What
let
is this?
Mad do anything crazy. Is that a similar approach we're going to see? And Kobe, how generally do you find the chances of Cloud9 in this matchup?
I would love if
All right.
that is a similar
we're doing some
approach.
jumping jacks?
I know that to me the best or the most important pairing
No, we're
is
just jumping.
again going to be mid jungles
Big
for both
pace.
of these teams because those were really the highlights of
Yo,
yesterday as
Fugger,
well.
thanks for the-
and Tarzan
thanks for
and
the 5
Scout
gifted subs.
are such a fearsome duo. Tarzan always setting up so many of these plays for him. We get even a look at the combination here. Even though the scoreline for Tarzan looks so much more supportive, that's what he aims to always do,
God,
and
bro.
that's how
So epic.
Scout got a lot of the early goals.
Yo, that
Tarzan
guy-
even
he
waited
brought me
around
a
and
iced
basically
coffee.
shepherded the
Oh,
kill
this guy's
into
so
his
nice.
hands for the first kill, for the
What a
first bit
legend.
of that goal.
I think that game yesterday was a perfect
Damn.
representation of how LNG like to win games.
Look at
And
that.
while Scout was so crucial
MVP.
in the overall success with his incredible performance, his positioning, and his
What an
damage,
MVP.
what is terrifying about LNG is very small
Let me
mistakes,
say
very
thank you.
small mistakes, such as trying to clear out a control ward in the river, trying to overforce a dive, even trying to defend a tower. LNG is so good and fast at punishing you. And with those small leads, they are so
Damn.
quick to build them into something insurmountable that you then can't come back from. This team is terrifying
Kobe?
if you cannot
What do you mean, thank
maintain
Kobe?
a high level of play consistently throughout the game.
I want to quickly shout out and warn something that you didn't see a whole bunch yesterday, but you might
Bro,
see
Scout
today
is running
how
this
scary
tournament.
the bottom lane of LNG is.
Scout is gonna run this
Hong is a
tournament.
crazy support. He is super, super good with these engages, sets up so many plays, and Gala obviously well accustomed to the international
You shouted them
stage.
all out.
That's-
They're all
that's
crazy.
scary.
Indeed. We're going to check in about how the fans feel about this matchup in our MasterCard fan prediction every day. You can vote at MasterCardGG on X to participate. C9, 38.1%. Oh, sorry, I'm spoiling it. Well,
Can there be
even
rematches in
LNG
1-1? There
then
can.
61.9%.
Like if Damwon
So
wins
in
and
favor of
G2
LNG,
loses,
I think
they
that
could
is
have
fair,
G2
but that
Damwon
means
again.
The upset is on the horizon. Let's head over to our casters.
Zeka's son? Bro, shut up, Zeka's son.
Thank you very much, guys, and welcome back to the casting desk. Upset on the horizon. I don't know. Look,
I like that. Yeah, sure.
NA, LPL, we're split down the middle, but hey, at the very least, I mean, if there's anyone in North America to make an upset, I could believe it's Cloud9 like many other worlds before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Cloud9.
they kind of have been historically the
Bro, look
the
what I
best
saw in a coffee
LCS
shop. Look at
team,
this.
right? They have really had a lot of great runs.
This is
over the
me in a
years,
coffee shop.
But these last couple of
you
years,
see it?
they haven't had as many, right? And they did make it to quarters in 2021, I believe, with
See what it
Perks.
says?
Before that,
It says
they made the World
18
Semis
to
in
23
2018. But
seconds.
these guys
Precision and
really
passion
wanna
with
get
every
out of
shot.
the Swiss stage. They want to advance. They want to
That's
really
me in bed.
showcase that they can do it at the international level because they have been so strong in the LCS for so long that it becomes about what's that next goal? What's that
No, it
next
is.
thing that you can really chase? And for them, it's international success.
It absolutely is. And just
What?
a quick touch up on the LCS as well. I mean, we thought this was going to be the #1 seed. I know you guys talking about it. This team was setting records in playoffs, and we thought, against NRG should be an easy final. They open up game 1. It continues that train. Then NRG slash back for the next 3. And Cloud9,
Cool,
a lot
Moxie's
of people
crying. No, he's
thought,
not.
again, this would be your first seed. So Azale, walk me through a little bit about their run and
Yeah,
how they got to this point.
Absolutely. They were talking about, not just winning LCS, they were talking about how they wanted to lose no games. And I think they really kind of did look past energy to their own regret, were able to be taken down. But throughout the summer, they were our best team. Them and Golden Guardians were kind of going back and forth. in the
M&S
regular
versus
season.
Scout.
But I do think one of the biggest
Gala
differences and
versus
one of the biggest
Berserker
reasons
goes
that
kinda
people are
hard.
Maybe less confident in Cloud9 this year is that in summer, it felt like M&S really regressed a bit. He wasn't as dominant as he was in spring, wasn't as aggressive. Fudge, I don't think, has been playing at his peak either. You know, Fudge at his best in LCS really has been clearing away the best top laner
Super
in the
important
league.
game now.
It was not the case
Super
in
important.
summer. Berserker has been really stable, though. Blabber has maintained his spot as the best jungler in the league. And this team really did look very in control against Mad, but LNG is a completely different beast. I mean, this team took JDG to 5 games in back-to-back series. I think easily could have won either of those series.
I agree.
And they are, to me, a top 3 team. They're one of the favorites to win the whole thing.
All right, Kalista, Maokai, Talia.
But again, I was saying this yesterday.
Are you gonna ban?
This is the team under JDG.
Wait, Kalista, Maokai.
Genji in that regard as well. But as we get into pick and ban, LNG here on the red side, I think there's a couple of things we need to highlight. Yesterday, Scouts Azir, massive 11-0 and 7. A
Are they really going to trade off Xayah Kai'Sa?
Syncing up for the mid-jungle duo. Great engage option. There's a couple of priorities that I feel like Cloud9 have to do, and at least Gala off Xayah seems to be one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. The Talia going to get banned away as well. Blabber brought that out yesterday. Really did
good job,
good.
C9. Good job.
Was way ahead of the pace of the game as far as his farming was concerned. Had some great team fights as well. And I'm just so interested to see how Cloud9 will look, because Blabber talked about it in his interview. You know, they've talked about it, you know, publicly some.
Sven said in the C9 vlog that they were getting turbo blasted by LNG.
Teams based on
well, we're about to find out.
They were getting rammed by the LCK teams. They were getting crushed by them, but they were doing
they're gonna first pick
well
Kai'Sa.
against some of these LPL squads. So I think they're relatively happy with this
LNG
matchup.
is
But that
gonna
being said, Scrimbucks
Azir
did not
maybe?
really end up meaning anything yesterday, where LPL went 4-0.
Passes are too loud.
LCK dropped 2 series when those were a lot of teams that people
I don't
were
like
telling
Lee
you
Sin.
are just obliterating everyone in the scrims.
Yeah,
they're probably going to do some Aphelios game, maybe.
Again. Scrim's deceiving us as always.
Alistar, maybe? Is Alistar super high prio here?
From Gala. A nice little touch. Gala's best champion by far. It's his pentakill champion. Something we didn't get to see yesterday. But
okay, Blabber, are we playing Poppy into this? I don't mind it. Is anyone going to play Poppy in the West?
No. When you think historically, Azal, you've been at Worlds many years.
What do you think of Poppy?
I mean, this guy, when he was on Griffin, this was his champion.
They might play Ari on 3. They might play Ari on 3.
Poppy
Poppy could be good.
Can
deny Azir, can take Nico, can take support.
With Alistar, Lee Sin, Poppy, I really think is the pick here. That you can go for a con for the engage, but Jungle Poppy to me is so strong right now. I even think Poppy top has some decent matchups. I do think it's more situational.
I agree. Poppy is pretty good here.
I would be a little bit surprised if they don't go for the angle.
Poppy is pretty good here.
Because I think a lot of the other champions that LNG does like to play.
Don't blind Sylas, don't pick Cassante, don't get quirky with it, bro. Just pick Poppy.
You know, that's something that can also be answered and denied by that Poppy. So you can also apply Plasma, of course, with the CC for that Kai'Sa. It helps to set up for that as well. But Sejuani is going to be the angle here. So instead,
what happens if they pick Ari on 3 now? You're playing Rakan, Kai'Sa, Sejuani. I think Ari on 3 does so much work. They might pick Aphelios or something, but I think Ari on 3 does so much for the draft for LNG.
Kind of trading off some of that utility for potential stronger 2v2s through
or Azir even does
which I think
work.
is a fair trade to make, especially after we saw Scout just completely run
Why
the
did they
game
not just take
yesterday.
Poppy?
Oh yeah, on this pick.
I do just think that this draft was just screaming Poppy out.
I feel like LNG's draft is already like really nice. I mean, what are you gonna ban here, C9? ADs? What can you ban? Aphelios, Ezreal?
Top option here, as you said, Zika on Jax is a very real threat.
Yeah.
The other thing that scares me too.
Do they know about the? Do they know about the Gala Ziggs?
He's on his ear once again, and with the
Gala
Yone banned
Ziggs.
away, maybe LNG don't pay respect. Maybe they take it away for themselves. Zika is flexible. The thing people don't know about this top laner of the LPL
Yone
is like
ban.
a combination of 369 and Bin.
Yeah.
Bin plays carries and Cassante. 369 plays tanks.
Gala plays a lot of
Zika can
Varus
play
and a
them
lot
all.
of
I think he's
Ziggs.
the most flexible top laner.
He's really nice on
At least one
poke
of the
champs.
And to me, this is one of the guys that I think
When
is
he
the
when he
most
when he gets his
under the radar
Kai'Sa,
for international
Kalista,
fans. He's not
Xayah,
a
bullshit
big
tonight.
name compared to, you know,
What?
369 and guys along
You know
those
what this
lines,
does
but
in draft?
you will
This
see
tells me
throughout
you
this
want
tournament
Jax.
just how good Zika is. I do
This
think
tells
he
me they want
belongs
Jax Renekton on
with those
4-5.
massive names,
Why are
with
they
the
banning
Shy, with all
Poppy?
those guys that are coming
That
from the LPL that
some
maybe
bans, I
famous to the
think, give
international
away
audience.
so much
He is
information as to what you want to do.
incredibly flexible. You said it.
LNG
It was
knows
Jax is
exactly what they're
amazing.
doing now.
Sante's great. He can play Sion. He can play Gwen. He
As
can
long as
play
Zika has a
really
pick
it
into
all.
Jax, they're
I
fine.
think it makes it so difficult to prepare for someone like this, especially
Sylas
with the
ban was really
expectation
good.
that he's getting 5th pick, counter pick on red side.
If they ban
How are you
Jax
gonna
now,
play
they
around
want
him?
Renekton.
Oh, definitely not with a Poppy.
If they ban
ban it away instead
Jace,
themselves.
they want
Thinking
Jax.
That's going to come on red side.
I don't know if
for-
Zika plays
for
Jace top, though.
LNG, while it is those very
Gragas ban is too
explosive
obvious. Don't do
mid-lane
Gragas ban.
champions
I
of
don't even know if
M&S
Zika
in
plays
the Sylas and
Gragas.
the Yone.
Yeah, absolutely.
They banned Gwen, they want
it's
Cassante.
interesting, right?
I
Because
don't
that would
know.
mean they're expecting that Zika would be
They
able to
banned
play that poppy
Cassante.
top,
They want
as
Renekton,
a potential
maybe?
blind if he was going to go on 4, but they're going to ban out the Cassante. It almost feels like you're
Go
kind
pick
of
Varus
asking for the
or
Jax,
Ziggs
which makes me
or
wonder, you know, what does
they
Fudge
take
have in store for that?
They just
Because
read
to
them
me,
like a
when
book
I think
because
of
Jax is
Zika,
good into
I don't know if you
Renekton.
agree, but I think of Jax as his best champion.
I do, yeah.
I'm really, really impressed. You know, watching the regular season, watching playoffs, that is what I associated with this guy. So the bans were catering.
Now, what does
to
C9 do?
right? So is it just going to be a
Oh, they play
versus
Renekton into Jax anyway.
Kind of wants to go for that skill matchup. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I do think it can work well because you have that Sejuani pairing.
Oh, they
So maybe this was their
gave
plan
away
the
the
whole way
draft
through,
so
is
much.
Really just playing heavily around this, but it does put so much pressure on both Fudge and Blabber to be able to
I
create
think
that
it's done.
advantage to be able to, you know, take
You know,
Herald, to be able to
isn't
use that
Zika's
pressure
most
top to
played
get something
champ
done.
Jax?
Whereas Zika kind of he doesn't have to do anything, right? Like you can just sit back and make sure you're not dying, and you have Scout farming up. You're gonna have Gala farming up. This would be really interesting. We did see some kind of more niche counters to these Azir popping up in LCS. Xerath was one of the most popular. Veigar is one that we had heard talk of, but we didn't see a lot of it. Syndra has been pretty
Wow,
popular,
Fudge has played
throughout
a lot
this,
of.
and I
He's
do
played
think it
4
fits the
games of
style
Jax
their
and found a lot of
composition
success
better.
on it.
This feels much more kind of mid-gamey, very divey from the Cloud9
Severe,
side.
yeah.
Whereas LNG
Gala
don't have to play
Tristana.
that way.
Yeah,
You know,
Gala
yes,
Tristana.
You
Big
can
fan.
have Lee Sin as this aggressive pick, but now you have Lee Sin kick for disengage.
Yep.
You have Alistar knockback for disengage. You have Azir ult for disengage. You have Tristana Buster Shot for disengage. Right? Like, very clearly, I think LNG will play this to kite back. Sure, if there's a great opportunity, they can dive in and they can try to one-shot someone. But they don't have to, and I think that's kind of the beauty of their draft. I really like what they have drafted. You know,
Yeah,
played soft
I
much
don't
more
know.
than
I
what
don't know.
Cloud9
I don't
have
know.
done.
C9's comp
And I
is
think
very
when you turn
mid-game-esque.
nameplates on, that becomes
You know,
even
Kai'Sa,
scarier because
Syndra,
LNG
Rakan,
is such a stable
Renekton. Very
team.
good
You know, they're
mid-game.
not
Like,
always
decent
one of those
early game as
uphill
well, I
teams
guess.
that's
But
drawn into the chaos.
I don't know.
And I
LNG
think
just
that
wins, I
Cloud9's
think.
draft really kind of needs that chaotic energy. They need to be
Yeah,
scrapping,
C9 need a lot
especially
of
on that
fights.
top side. When you're looking at, you know, Renekton and Sejuani, you want to be making things happen. I just don't know if LNG's going
I
to
don't
bite.
know how
But
Rakan
C9,
plays
that's
team
the
fights this
frustrating
game though.
part, isn't it? Again, it's taken some of the
What's he
best
gonna get?
teams to
Azir
really
ulted
beat down
pushback?
LNG.
Tristana ulted?
JDG with
Azir
their
knocked?
strong lanes, they're
Kicked.
great mid-game
Like, that
team
guy can't
fighting,
move.
and they're just best all-round team fighting in the world as well. That's what's beaten LNG
We'll
in
see.
Game
I mean,
5
C9's
in the
comp is
grand
not
final of the
terrible.
LPL, but for LNG
Just it
specifically,
needs to get ahead.
yesterday against Fnatic,
And
I want to highlight
playing
this matchup in
comps
the
with
top
conditions
side
that need to
where
get ahead
Zika
against some of the
absorbed
best teams in the
pressure
world.
from Oscarina
They're-
and Razork, and nothing came through.
they're
They were
really, really hard
punished.
to pull off.
They were slapped down. The game fell down from there as well. And it feels like that top side, I mean, Zika's all too familiar with absorbing pressure and being able to play flexible around his jungle too.
Absolutely, and we saw Tarzan. You know,
When are you
absolutely
playing
run
Mario
over,
Kart?
Razork
In a few
in
days.
That match, you know, got
Yep.
way ahead, and then Scout was dominating in mid lane. It became so much about that duo moving around, being aggressive, you know, making things happen. Not necessarily looking for anything crazy, but constantly advancing the state of the game, putting themselves in great spots. And I do think they have really drafted well to do a similar thing here against Cloud9. So we'll see if Cloud9 can really step it up. This is going to be a massive test for them. And if they can get this win, it is an upset, but it's possible. If they could get this win, they would be 2-0, and that would mean you are guaranteed
Jojo's
3
tweet? I
chances
did.
in best of 3s to advance, and that
I
would
did
really
see
set
Jojo's
themselves
tweet.
up well.
Jojo
So
is
this
just on the
what
sidelines,
Cloud9
memeing
really
his
need
life,
to get done. The
memeing
win
through
against
his life,
Mad
you
was
know, just
great,
chilling.
but this is the bar that they're going to set for themselves.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as
All
we
right,
get
big
into this
game.
one, our second game of day 2 of Swiss. Day 2
Big,
of that.
big game.
Remember to connect your League of Legends account to get the Prime Gaming emote, the exclusive experimentation emote. I called it extermination yesterday, but if you play Heimerdinger, you know, it's exactly the same.
I
Get
overslept
it,
for
spam it,
school.
use it.
Lol,
Welcome
at
back.
least
And
I can
look,
watch this now.
On the note of C9,
Bro,
I will say it'd be a very C9 thing to do to create an upset here.
Oh
Really good
no!
chance of getting
Oh
into that top
fuck!
8.
My alarm didn't go off. I don't have to. I
Sitting on
can't go
BO3
to
for a
school.
while
Well, I
gives
got
yourself
worlds
best
at
chance
least.
would be
Oh
amazing
no!
for the history of this organization. Who else but C9 to do it?
It would be huge if they're able to get it done. And we can see that deep ward thrown down there by Zika on top side. So wants to be able to cover and track
This
where
shit.
Blabber is going to be pathing. He knows that there's likely to be pressure up towards top side, especially because it is going to be a leash start on bot. So, you know, Zika is going to have to play around.
think GP
those
would have
level
been
3
better than
timings,
Renekton
those
here?
level 4 timings that could potentially come up towards top side. And we'll see what Fudge can get done. He missed his cue,
Yeah,
so now Zika's
GP
just
would
gonna
not be
step
too bad, you
forward
know.
and
Very
take this
hard to
quick
play, though.
trade as level 1
Because
for
LNG
Jax in
have
this
so
matchup,
much
obviously,
fucking
you know,
damage.
really strong
And a lot of
for the
range.
Jax, and
And
this
there's
is
not
such
much
a good
poke on
Merc Treads
C9.
game as well for LNG. You know, there's so much CC over
So
on the
no,
other
I
side.
don't
I
think
think we're going to
so.
see a lot of Merc Tread rushes. We have the cleanse on
I don't think
Gala,
so.
and obviously already talked about how much peel and disengage they have, which is all going to serve them, I think, incredibly well.
I mean, it's going to be frustrating. It's along the narrative.
I don't know. I think, to be honest, Jace top could be good. I don't know how... I remember Jace top was good into Jax blinds, but I don't know if that's still the case. Like, phase rush Jace top normally like keeps Jax on the tower, and obviously if you make a mistake, Jax will murder you, but I feel like if you had like a good top laner who can play Jace in this scenario, that would do well, but I don't know if Fudge can play it.
Yep, Gala losing a bit of
I think
HP
Kana
there.
would pick Jace and like
Range,
maybe the Shy or
they get tagged by both the Q from Berserker and the W as well as the Q from
would pick
Sven.
Jace.
So lost a good 30-40% of his
Doran.
health. Didn't have to
I
actually
don't know
pop
if
that
Doran
potion
plays
yet
Jace.
though, so not that big of a deal.
Zeus
And,
would play
it
Jace
has been a
for sure.
spotted Sejuani over by this
I think
blue
Zeus
buff
is the
that
best
War
Jace in the
put
world.
down is going to spot him. Zika has the full shove, so he's just going to bounce
Because
away. He's just gonna take
I think
early
Bin
reset,
doesn't
so
play
deny any
Jace.
possibility of that gank
And
time.
neither does
I really
369.
do love it in these kind of matchups.
I mean,
If you
369 in
get that
top
early
esports
push,
used to play
as you
Quinn
sometimes
and
can as
Lucian
this
top.
Jax, it just avoids
But I think
this
top
level
lane
3
Jace
timing
is
where
right now.
you're
I
gonna be
think
vulnerable.
Zeus is the
Plus
best.
extra stats, Ruby Crystal picked up as well, so it's going to help with some of the
Very
trades that
safe
Fudge
buy.
is going to try and burst. Yeah. Again,
Whippo says Renekton beats
for
Jax.
Zika as well.
Actually, I've
Great
seen
timing.
Renekton Jax in the
Might actually sync
LPL
up with
about
Tarzan to
60
pull some lane
times this
presence
year.
here
And
on
I
the
can
Lee
tell
Sin.
you
We're talking about this in draft.
that Jax goes
Tarzan's
even
Lee
and then
Sin
wins
really like no other. He's
every
got many
game.
highlights
And maybe
in
the
the
Renektons
LPL
aren't good or
already
something,
since he joined
but
in,
I've seen the
and
best
especially
LPL players
syncing up
play
with
this
Scout like
matchup
he did
about
yesterday.
100
There's
times.
such
I don't
huge
even know.
damage potential, especially
Like
at that level
Renekton can do
6.
well, maybe couple CS
It can
lead
be an
early,
absolute
but
bounce
Jax
house,
normally
right?
goes
You
dead
get
even.
Swept back by the Azir, kicked even further
Like
back by
Renekton can maybe
Lee Sin.
control the wave a bit,
There
but
are a
yeah.
lot of potential combos here that they can go for, but
I bet you this game Jax will be even and then just start murdering
Zika has
Renekton
walked back
later
to
on.
lane. He did hold on to his TP. That's critical.
Oh,
Plus,
nice
another
M&S.
He's been with the run.
Hey, he's
Hang
dead.
on, Scout called out. Ignite, they're hitting
Oh,
the strong point
he had
of
just enough
LNG.
mana. Did he have Biscuit?
Straight off the bat.
No,
That's a
wait, what?
summoner down.
Did he have
Scout
Biscuit for
gonna
that
have to face
WE?
TP back
I
in.
thought he
Really
didn't have
good
the mana.
hold
No
from
shot.
Sven. This is a guy who has gotten so much criticism for his engaged supports, but has grinded non-stop throughout his entire career. Both his
Did he have
AD
Biscuit
and his
for mana
support.
there, I wonder?
He's always been a grinder, works hard non-stop, and really has been putting in that work. to
Zika
get
got a
up
really
the
good base
bar
off, huh? Did he
for
cheat
the
her on this
international
lane?
level on these engaged supports and makes a good early roam here, having an impact on that early matchup. That's step number one.
Priority here for
That's
M&S.
really
Looking
nice
to
cheater, isn't it?
CS lead
Ruby
already
Crystal
building
early.
up. The Scout has
And he's going to be
teleport
even in
back to
CS. I
lane.
think he's going to be 30
Hitting the
CS.
strong point of LNG. I love the strat so early on from Cloud9 when you said they had to be a bit brawly, a little bit bruised.
Oh, he's-
here and
he's
get
so
into the
good.
thick of the weeds. I think that's a perfect start for Cloud9.
Now he can stack into
Absolutely.
Fudge, who has to
I think for
TP
a lot of
back.
People, if you're not someone who watches LCS all the time, I think people still have this kind of opinion, this thought of Blabber, that he's this hyper-aggressive guy and that he's kind of coin flippy and he does this sort of style. But really, Blabber is much more farm-oriented. He's a guy that, to me, just exemplifies efficiency in the jungle more than anyone else in our league. He's all about, finding these gank timings, but prioritizing farm and not spending a lot of time to do it. And when you talk to pros that play against him, they always have this feeling that Blabber is there, even though he is the most heavy farming jungler in our league, which really speaks to the fact that when he is there, it's at the right time. It's when he really needs to be.
Lucidity
and it
boots
kind
on
of gets in
Syndra.
people's head to the point where they don't feel that they can play the game they want to, because it feels like he's always going to be there if you go aggressive.
Which is so funny in this game because I feel like you could say the same thing about Tarzan. Like,
Yeah.
Tarzan prioritizes farm, he farms efficiently, but yeah, you always feel like he's there. A lot of the time he is.
Look at the
because he
pings
loves
on the minimap.
hanging around
Blabber is
Scout
insta-pinged.
proximity
Tarzan knows his
by,
pathing.
but just hilarious to see as we pause to digress and chill out a little bit on the Cloud9 opening
We're
start.
pausing.
Now, I will also say
Must be a
Hung
tech
is still
issue.
in lane for the time being. That's also a little bit rare, as people don't know.
What is happening?
On likes to sync up with Shun over on BOG all the time, abandons Elk. Hung's not as aggressive, but that dude is rarely in lane too.
He is
It's
just
a
kind
Fnatic
of a bit
pause.
of a madman. This is a guy
How is
who
this Fnatic
likes to
pause
go for
meme
the
still
really
going?
spicy plays, the
It
really
even happens when-
aggressive plays. He's
when
not
Fnatic's not even
afraid
playing.
to really put his life on the line to make a play happen for the team. And I think that's one of the things that really stands out about him to me. And
Why
that
does
really
Syndra
makes
go
him fun to
CDR
watch.
boots first?
And
I think
LNG
a lot
is
of
just kinda
people
so
don't realize how
well-rounded,
good
not
boots
even
are
just
first
through,
item.
player
Like,
skill, but also
movement
through
speed
player
is the
playstyle,
most
right?
underrated
Scout is
stat
kind of
because you
really
can't
stable,
put
you
it in a
can still
calculator and then
Tarzan,
press equals and see that you do
Hung is
more
kind of this guy
damage.
that's kinda
So everyone's like,
plug that's gonna
oh,
make
boots
crazy
suck
things
early.
happen for
Shut up.
them. And it
Bro,
always feels
I
like
can
so
tell
much
you
of
in
the
pro
action
play,
is around
boots
mid
are
lane, is
so
around
good.
top lane, and it's often Gala that's just kind of quietly farming up. May
That's
not
why
be involved
junglers
in
go
the game,
boots
and then you
first
realize,
item earlier on in the
oh
year.
God, like Gala
Mids can
has
go boots
400
first
CRs,
items.
and
Faster
how
to
do we win this
sides,
team fight
faster
now,
back to
guys?
lane on
But it's
resets,
good. I
easier
mean,
for
in
skill
this
shot
matchup as
dodges,
well,
but you
I
can't
think
put it in a
two parallels.
calculator and measure it.
Another one I'll draw
So
is
it's always
Berserker,
like,
right? I feel like Berserker, this reliable
But it feels really
I
good.
can't remember the game as well, but is a Siffer gamer.
Why CD Boots? I mean, CD Boots are cheap and have really nice stats on them.
Berserker, this reliable AD carry, just farming up, gets to the point where he's fighting and he's huge. Hell, even yesterday as well, on the Zyra it was, he was the reliable AD carry for C9 that really took over Mad.
It really is. It's one of the things that he's very well known for. It's interesting because damage percent-wise, you know, he really doesn't have like a huge percentage of the team's damage because they have a lot of players that,
What's the pause?
do like play that carry style.
Ooh, a scout.
And often,
oh, they all love scout. Damn, scout.
But in the LCS, you know, he has
makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, Zeka killed him 5 times. But he looks stronger. It's true. He got double MVP since then.
You know, what is it that makes them so
he got double MVP.
And he said, well, the problem is, if you ever start a team fight around Berserker, he's going to get a random triple kill, and then you lose the game. And then not 30 seconds later, a team fight broke out, he gets a triple kill, and you're like, oh! So it is kind of that thing that he's known for, is really success in the team fights. You know, Sven and Berserker are less known as a dominant lane.
Yeah. Just a quick update for everyone out there. We have had FPS drops on C9's side. Officials are investigating, excuse me.
Okay,
so
this is
while
going
we
to
get
be...
that sorted out, we are in a pause. But
is this going to go to the analyst desk?
Maybe we've been waiting for this one just simply because...
Take some photos. She's like, hey, we're on the screen.
But naturally because, I mean...
What does that say, chat? What does that say? Tell me.
Looking pretty clean, bar one play.
What does that say?
C9 versus Mad was one of the cleanest games we had yesterday.
What does it say?
They had this inability to be proactive, but
says
I think
scout.
it was showing to C9, you know, kind of running the
it
map.
says sub to Caedrel.
Oh,
oh, yeah, I thought so. I was just checking.
And, you know, when people talk about, the team didn't do anything and they just lost, it's often not because they didn't try to do anything, but it's because everything they look for, you know, their opponents are going to be able to answer, right? And it often feels like that when our teams play against the best LCK and LPL teams. It's like, well, why didn't they do anything? Well, everything you looked for, they were ready for, and they answered, right? So it's always, you know,
you're funny, chat. You know that, chat? You're funny. You know what? Maybe people don't tell you this often, but I'll tell you. You are funny. You're funny. You know that, chat? You're funny.
Definitely deserve credit for that as well. For being
I had my fingers crossed. I was lying.
Seems to be good in game now.
No, I was lying. You're very funny.
A pretty big CS lead opening up in bot lane, but the wave is pushing into Gala, so we'll see how much this he can pick up. Likely nearly all of it knowing Gala, as he is a CS monster.
There's a CS lead in bot, though. We take those, right, chat?
Through those early tradings, hitting level 2 from Berserker.
That's a CS lead in bot. Hey, yo.
They were able to lock
That's a 10 CS lead.
A bit of an advantage in this lane. We also
with
remember
Rakan and Alistar. Yeah, we take that.
Back in with us, it's Scout lost
top
both
CS lead.
One for return back after the heavy trade. One for the flash that was burnt by Sven's early roam to only trade the ignite from him. So C9 with a small early advantage. Let's see if they can punish some of those summoners as we start getting towards the level 6s, and even the Tarzan.
Blabber is just waiting for Crab, as he always does.
To do the core JJ for this game at least. This time he's on a ward.
Yeah, is spotted out, waiting for that top side scuttle. He's just been cycling his camps.
Waiting for his Krabby Patty.
6 and play towards this top side. Fudge is 6.
No Ocean Soul? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be Cloud Soul, though, so as long as we get another Ocean Dragon.
Getting Dragon for free on bot side.
Wow,
so
Zika trading.
We'll see. Blabber spotted again.
But is that trade too big with Dominus?
It's so obvious. Even if it wasn't warded, the Renekton is walking up.
Zika still playing dangerously. Sven is also going to be spotted on this control ward, but Dragon, as early as you'd like on a Lee Sin, taken by Tarzan.
Yeah, nicely done there.
Oh, I told you, man. This Jax just out-trades.
Bad trade.
Now
Unfortunately,
Fudge has
Blabber
to base.
had to stay around and actually cover him on the push-in.
Yep.
Because he did get chunked down so low. If he left, there's always the potential that he does get all-in. But LNG...
It's going to be Chemtech, and then it's going to be Mountain. And then we're going to get Ocean Soul next game, and then Pick'ems are saved.
A nice trade from Zika, plus the wards on Blabber dissuade any sort of action on top side. And we'll see, though, can Blabber now make something happen? There's a slight window before Scout has his flashback, where Blabber is now 6. But he would have to rush straight towards mid, and Scout is just based and got Merc Tread, so he's playing around that timing. Yeah. By the time he's in danger, the Flash is going to be back.
Yeah.
He's going to be sitting pretty.
I mean,
it's a very even game, but again,
well, so
C9's comp needs to get ahead, and
Scout
it's a mid-game comp, so they need to start forcing, first Herald fight would be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether it's a mistake or not, it was yesterday the 11-0 and 7. You heard me say before. It was on the Jace matchup as well. It was a little bit different, but again, you know, it's one of Scout's best champions historically.
Yeah, it's so hard though, man, when you're playing against a player like Scout.
He's got 18 of them.
Yeah, almost anything he gets looks good. It's like, oh, he got that Azir, I don't know. Oh, he got a Cinder, I don't. Oh, he got that Orion, I'm not sure. You know, it's just everything you give them seems like a bad thing to give them.
Yeah, it's hard to win, honestly.
Yeah, turns out he's just good at the game.
At the very least, look.
Zeka clears Scout. How can he clear Scout? He's not even here.
We're just still waiting to see how it gets punished up as LNG
They have no
playing
TPs.
deep and nitty-gritty in this bottom lane. Hung and Tarzan already syncing up. It might still be in the
Little
bottom
bro
side,
had Viper
but
and still
starting
couldn't
to
make it
move
to Worlds.
together while Gala slowly pushes
He
his
lost
way.
to
You see Blabber is heading
this.
out towards
Bro,
Gold
he
because
lost to
knows that
Kellen.
it's a
Where's
cover of
Kellen?
this
Yo,
crashing
Kellen. Oh, he's
wave
here.
Will they look for
This
an
is what
engage
beat
is the
Zeka.
question, as Tarzan trying to pick up a lot of this. Blabber's heading there, but not going to be here in time for any sort of a fight to break out. But that's another play going over to Gala, because Cloud9 can't step up to the wave, or they have Alistar and Lee Sin behind them, and it's probably a pretty easy kill to
EU
actually
hero.
execute. So just slight advantages being eked out there by LNG. You know, was a little bit of an edge. They're gonna go for
bad
Caedrel.
reaction time.
Divide the glide,
Oh, it's me on Lee Sin.
back, but the Sonic Wave doesn't connect. It slows down the play, but
You see,
now
even the
with
best
his
in the
range
world
again.
miss.
Oh,
It's
no.
me on Lee Sin.
First
I do
one
that
to
all the
mid
time.
lane
See, it happens, okay? You can't
is a
make
big
fun of me
plus.
for it.
Nicely done, and this is always
You
the
can't
worry
make
in this
fun of me
matchup.
for it.
Zero versus Syndra. Syndra can have that proactivity in the early lane, but as soon as you get to 6, you can swoop in.
It must be a bug. Every best Lee Sin in the world does that. Tarzan, Canyon, me, it always happens. It must be like some kind of bug where your Q like flies away from where your mouse is. Because I swear I hit it every time with my mouse. I swear my mouse is always in the right spot.
Now going to be able to get a plate here in mid lane as well.
What do you mean me OME?
A
What do you
slight lead for the first time in this game.
What are you on about?
That kill as well for Scout. We'll see what it nets with the start of a Nash's 2
Bro, sneaked it. What do you mean I sneaked myself?
Game against Fnatic started with Scout getting a lead. It doesn't stop
I'm
the blind. It
crazy.
goes to 2,
Look, I have a
3
T1
very
shirt with my name on it, ready to sub in.
So C9 need to keep a cap
That's
on
how
that
good
lead.
my Lee
And
Sin.
while LNG aren't the craziest team, one of the things that they do so well is punish mistakes, punish missing cooldowns.
Wow,
From their
Blabber really wants
opponents.
to gank top.
You know, I think that's something they did incredibly
But
well
ganking
against Fnatic,
Zika is
as
really
we're
hard.
saying,
He
and
can
now,
play tanks and never get
Cloud9
ganked. He can
I'm
play carry
really
matchups,
excited
go even, and
for
never
this
get
next
ganked.
couple minutes
Like,
when you're playing with no flash against an Azir that has flash, has ulti, and Scout just sets it up
Let's see it
really
again.
well. Tarzan coming in, no hesitation. He tries to get the scatter. The scatter not
He
able
just
to
took
keep
the
him
creep.
safe.
He needed
the
the
Q
gold.
misses from Tarzan, but honestly, it didn't matter. No one was going to get there in time. He was always going to die. And at the end of the day, the kill going over to Scout is just that much better.
They're the best mid
That one hit.
of the LPL as once again Tarzan into action. On
Holy
to
fuck,
Fudge.
tempo
While spotting
base,
him out,
baby.
Dropping a ward as he makes his exit. Should be close to an item for Tarzan as well here after his participation through the mid lane. Gore Drinker now picked up, and he's the first one of LNG to do so. As Blabber the same
whoa,
too.
Jaxing.
And it has just been a nice start for LNG, despite what we saw mid with the flash burned out from Scout before.
This is
Yeah, I mean,
this is what I'm
Zika
talking
is
about, the
just
Jax
playing this
Renekton
lane out
matchup.
so well. They've known that there was going to be pressure up towards topside. You know, that is the problem with going with such an obvious draft like Cloud9 has.
Yep.
So they just constantly kept wards up towards that top side. You know, Zika put the level 1 ward over by the blue buff. Then they had, I believe, a ward from Tarzan that was placed over in Pixel that spotted him out. They have the defensive wards in Tribush that's going to spot him out. They just always kept
Gala?
eyes on it. And Sven getting kind of disrespectful
Oh,
here.
he's
Has to be
going.
a bit careful.
But he missed Q again.
Sonic Wave this time
Bro,
either.
Tarzan's
Quick
missing
mistake
everything.
move
Didn't he
with
miss every
Sven
combo
to
on Jarvan
escape.
yesterday as well, or was that Kanavi? No, it was
Almost
Kanavi.
caught out, almost a kill for
Chinese
Gala,
junglers.
but at
Omega
least they
Lul. Well, I
gained
guess
that back.
Tarzan's
So
Korean,
Zika's
but
just been able to kind of wax on, wax off, stay
LPL
alive.
junglers.
And he's chilling, right? Like, this is a matchup they're going to be feeling better and better about. The Fudge looking to get aggressive. He has the Mythic completed. Doesn't
Yeah,
want Zika to
this
base,
is only
but
fine for Renekton
not
now,
gonna be
but
able
when
to stop
Jax
him. He
bases
may
and
earn
gets
himself a
Thunder,
plate with that denial of the base right there.
Kanavi's
but
also
Zika
Korean.
is
Yeah, I know, but
deciding to stay
that's true.
around, and it's gonna
LPL
have to be
junglers.
Sven running out towards bot is again. Berserker's
BLG
getting zoned
is the
off.
only
You know, he is
full
still slightly
Chinese
up
team,
in
right?
CS, but he's going to be zoned off another wave as Sven was forced to use his
Oh, this
ulti
is a
and
good dive
retreat on-
timer.
on mid lane.
Trying to turn into a dive. Dominus is there. 1 versus 2. Zika. He's going to pop the ulti. The
Oh, they didn't
counter's
drop
not going
aggro.
out. He's out of mana as well. Permafrost laid with the own
Looks
ulti.
fine,
Well
though.
done
Berserker,
by
can he
C9.
live? He
The
lives.
problem is the bottom
Let's
side.
go, C9.
LNG fail the
You're so
dive.
greedy,
They
Zika.
get turret plating out of it, but C9 getting topside is some relief.
Yeah, that is really good that they're able to execute on this kill because they're going to get the full tower. That is a big deal to get that kill. Berserker barely survives on bot side. LNG has been pressuring heavily through bot. MS did get down there to cover, which is good, but it does mean he's going to be losing farm. Scout pushes in, takes another plate. So more and more plates have been going the way of LNG, but it's a slight lead for Cloud9. And they're
Did
looking
he TP
really
the top tier too? Like, he needs to
very
catch that.
even
No, he
with
doesn't.
LNG through 13
needs to catch
minutes,
that
so
fatty
credit to
wave.
them. This
LNG
is a
got Drake,
very,
I guess.
very competitive game.
I mean, again,
This is
C9,
a
we
very
talked about
competitive
coming in.
game.
This is a historic organization.
And it's only
that
10
does
minutes
so
in,
well
but
under
still.
pressures. We look at topside as well. This 1v2, they wait for Zika's cooldowns.
Yep, exactly. They force out the counter.
Is
strike,
Infernal
going
Soul?
in,
Are you kidding?
wait for that permafrost
Is it
to
actually Infernal
stack
Soul?
up. That means no way to miss
Fuck.
the ulti from Sejuani. That's guaranteed, so they get the kill. Then here on bot side, Eminence on the roam. He is really kind of the hero of this one. You can see them going in for this dive, but The Kai'Sa ulti plus the double shielding there from Sven creates the space, and with MNS arriving, LNG knew, okay, we got to back it up, or this could become a disaster really fast.
And with the health going on to LNG as well, means the turret dive, or at least the turret
Berserker
push,
Monka W.
traded, so it is first turret blood, as you highlighted as well, that goes to C9.
LNG have really good dragon control.
But taking care of the other part of
Herald
the
in
map,
30. Scout has
LNG
the
have
Enders.
moved us to an Infernal Soul. They're on their
Scout
third
has the
dragon
Enders.
coming up, if they can at least take it. So the objective game is being played down towards that bottom side.
Absolutely. And now it's going to be about, can you actually transition this advantage that you've created for Fudge around the map? Can you use that to take more objectives? Can you use that to go and contest this next dragon and stop that? Because that is going to be the issue here now for Cloud9. They have Fudge in a position where he could potentially succeed. But again, he's going to have to deal with so much disengage. And I think that is one of the most difficult parts about this whole composition for Cloud9.
Remember your coffee?
That, when you have these kind
this
of
might sound stupid, but having a coffee in the room, like full, makes me think that I have more energy than I do because I have a coffee. Does that make sense?
So much space with the Buster Shot and all these different cooldowns. It's going to be tough for Fudge to get in there. So everyone from Cloud9 is going to have to be on the same point. You can't kind of
I have a coffee, so I must have more energy. Placebo Andy,
going in at once. Rakan goes in, Sejuani ult lands, Fudge is landing.
It's true, it's true.
From MNS, everything kind of has to hit at the same time.
It's the smell. I can't smell it, to be honest.
At least thanks to that Muscat
let me smell it.
snapshot, we can see that Fudge is going to have gold to play with, 1,500 over Zika, by the way, if you missed that. Gore Drinker with the Kindle Gem already picked up, but I like the analysis.
What happens if you like snort coffee beans? Is it the same as drinking coffee?
We've mentioned comfort quite a lot for LNG, but again, the fact that everyone's got to disengage, everyone's got a jump button at least as well. Let's see another one in action. Flush away from Zen. Great timing. He's good on the fingers today, but will mean they lose out on the mid turret.
He's good on the fingers.
Yeah, and honestly, this is just such a win for LNG. Cloud9 go to take Herald. Herald gives you the opportunity to get a tower, right? And while you're getting that, they take the mid tower, they take the bot tower, they get the flash off Sven. It's just such a bigger win for LNG. You can really see they're very adept at how they play the map. I think they're going to feel so confident as this game gets later and later and later with the Azir interest on it.
Oh, this game is getting tricky for C9. They're going to have to do something soon.
So it is going to be difficult for Cloud9, and LNG, again, are just refusing to fight where
C9 needs to force a fight on this next Drake.
Really hoping, hey, come and fight us at the Herald. Hey, come over here. We're going to scrap. But they're not willing to do it. They're just going to say, no, you can take that. We're going to go 4 mid. We'll send 1 bot. We'll take global
triple merc treads on their top side.
Off the map, and we'll wait till we're ready.
They're just chilling. I mean, again, the wave clear massive, and Gala just doing what Gala does every single game, which is
the coffee bussin'? Yeah, it's good, but it needs milk, so I'm going to go grab some milk after this game.
Getting his second as we do a bit of a check in there as well. Just a quick note. Gala up 10 CS, but almost up 2 items because of all the plating he got on the bottom side. Another quiet achieving game where Berserker wasn't able to get that same luxury.
I don't like black coffee that much.
Himself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that Berserker and Sven honestly played really well in the 2v2, but LNG played heavily around bot. Tarzan did a great job getting down there. We constantly saw Tarzan and Hong just threatening the dive.
Mad Lions, here it comes.
Around behind, and always it felt like we went down. You're seeing Berserker walk back, walk away from the turret, give up.
Look at this
plates,
Jax champ, man. It's so
farm.
annoying.
That was the position that he was in, and LNG just orchestrated that so well. They're saying, sure, you can put pressure on top side, but you're not going to get a lot of kills on
Vietnamese coffee. Vietnamese coffee is so strong. Oh my god.
On our carries, we're going to play around mid,
Right, 50 seconds on Drake. What can C9 get in time? They need to stack up on pinks.
You're going to be forced to come
get a bit of push on either mid or bot.
Because you're going to have to worry about the soul.
And that's why for LNG, I use that classic word macro. Great macro team, best one in the LPL to a degree. Start comparing them and JDG as Hung looks for an engage. Because Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds, and again, there's the setup. We talked more about it. Look at the vision line as well.
Scout is playing like a psycho. He wants to defend that pink.
Scared.
He was hoping to maybe get Azir ult, Rakan ult.
He's hoping that he's going to panic ult and try to use some sort of cooldown and retreat and say, oh god, I'm about to get swept in, but
crazy, he just dashes into Rakan's face.
Have that ultimate for this fight.
Oh, this can be a good fight for C9. Oh, that pick was sick. Oh my god, it could be good. Yo, where's Syndra QE at? Here comes Chocolate Fudge. Where was Syndra stun at? Where was Renekton stun? Where was Syndra stun?
They get 3 flashes from the top side. They're going to give
TP
it up
top from Azir.
That went way too bad. We will get smoked if we actually fight this.
How did Lee Sin get stunned there?
The map. I'm going to TP the top side. You double TP down to Dragon. Guess what? I'm going to take your tier 1 for free. You get the Dragon, but it is going to be C9 taking that, dropping Herald on bot side. So they want to try to see if they can push for 2, try to get a second charge, but Tarzan lying in wait.
He has no kick though. What's he gonna do?
So there's 4 from LNG.
Oh, Scout of the Week was used. Sonic Wave connects, but Herald going to be stopped in its path. Tarzan can't follow up any further.
Crazy that LNG can turn this into a tower trade, even though they're down a Herald and they have to back off the fight. Scout brain.
It was definitely in terms of blabber, but I think C9's reactions in the Mad game yesterday, even today here against LNG, have been quite adept, been quite significant.
I think that's 2 days in a row for both these teams. They've been
Gala,
really
smile.
good at
Smile.
responding to what their opponents are doing, shutting down what their opponents are trying to enforce on the map here. You know, LNG again. They're not overcommitting to that fight.
Punk
They
just
realize,
fucking
nope,
headbutt
this
that
sort of
cannon.
bad.
Holy
We're
fuck.
Out of here. We'll take a tower. You want to fight as a Herald? Nope.
Let's
we'll
see,
take
let's
your
listen.
mid lane tier
Where
one,
was
right?
Syndra
They're
QE?
always making sure that they're in the right spot. This was great though from C9. LNG were trying to move down to actually collapse on
fudge.
Berserker.
Oh, where's the
Flowers
stuns
in the
at?
area, Sven was in the area. They were covering that play, and the instant double DP from MNS and Fudge meant that LNG just did not have the angle to fight. There was no way they could actually push through that corridor onto Berserker. They would have got destroyed.
Yeah.
So they immediately
Stop saying
bail
you're
out.
behind.
Yes,
I'm
they
not.
have to spend
Shut up.
some summoners, but we've seen that hasn't been
You
a
probably
problem
use
for
it
them
before
because
TPing?
they're
Yeah,
so
maybe.
patient at just waiting and playing safely
Maybe,
until their flash
maybe.
comes back up. And I think we're going to see Scout do the exact same thing. I mean, look at him on top side. He's not even walking up to the wave. You know, he's being very careful, very respectful. He says, that wave's coming to me. I'll wait back here. I'll wait over by Krugs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk up and die.
No, again, not overstepping. It's in Scout's nature. I think from yesterday we saw
It's actually a pretty even game though. Props to C9. Their comp will hold them in this game for another 5 minutes. But I think after 3 items their comp is not going to be amazing. Actually, it's not bad to be honest. Not bad against LNG's comp.
That's something, you know,
It's just Azir is a pain in the ass.
We haven't seen the Umbral build as much popping up, being the Navori quick blades coming through, being a lot more about the on-hit.
Absolutely, and I think if there is going to be, you know, a lot of kind of more frontline people that you can't necessarily just one-shot at burst down, I do tend to think that the on-hit can work really, really well. Yep. So, you know, going in towards that Navori, very standard stuff.
Pause again.
Has been cycling
I wonder what problems
builds.
they're having,
You
C9.
do see the full kind of early lethality build for that super early spike.
They
This
must have
is,
some
you know,
bad
much more of a
FPS drops
scaling
in.
style of build. There's a lot of different directions you can
I
go.
can't believe the
but I
next
think
game is
they
Mad
are gonna
versus
need that
BDS.
consistent
Like, oh my
damage here
god,
from
it's going to be
Berserker,
such a
and that's
shit
why he's
show.
going for this.
Mad
We'll
versus
give you the update as
BDS.
soon as we know what the pause is. Earlier we had that pause. Obviously, it was some FPS issues that you were reporting hysterics of 4C9 on stage. So if it is that again, we will let you know as soon as we do find out. But some big item completions are coming through. You know, Fudge completed that Shojin, so his second item has come through. We saw a second item just come in as well for Blabber. He's got the Knight's Vow now, and over on the other side, Scout has his Nashers on top of that Leandry, so this is not that kind of vegan build that people like to call it, you know, where they're going Banshees and they're going Crown and they're going defensive. Scout is max DPS here, so if they create space for him, yeah, he's going to be eating
Match
good.
of the week.
Yeah, definitely tonight. I mean, again, already that second item is significant, right? Scout in a good spot. It was that first blood that set him up for success. But I guess the difference between yesterday against Fnatic versus today is Cloud9 have not really slipped up anymore. It was a double TP down bottom side that was really quick to the trigger, but they haven't really missed.
I like Weibo Gaming versus G2 banger match. Yeah, Weibo versus G2 is in a bang. Weibo versus G2 is going to go crazy.
Absolutely. You know, Cloud9 has been, you know, playing, I think, a pretty conservative game. Both teams clearly filling each other out. You know, from all the rumors, they have been very competitive scrims.
Who are you picking?
So, you know, these
I
two
won't
teams
say.
obviously showing some respect towards each other.
I won't
and
say.
I think Cloud9, you know, more so feeling a little bit of pressure.
I'll show you. When the match
things
starts,
done in
I'll
the
show
earlier
you who I'm
stages, and LNG more
supporting.
comfortable to sit back, and they're only going to fight on their own terms. So we'll see when that is. You know,
Oh, they're
generally
gonna
when you
toss
think
the
about
desk.
hyper carries, when you think about late game, to me, that kind of arrives at 3
Are they
items,
tossing the desk?
right? And so it may be that LNG will just continue
Okay, now eat it.
around that.
Eat it.
If Cloud9 makes any mistakes, they'll obviously look to capitalize, but they don't need to really force anything. And Cloud9 has also bought themselves some time by taking this third dragon because they're not really feeling pressured for a soul coming up. So it's honestly a very, very even game. Again, I do... If I could choose which team to be playing at this point in the game, I would rather have LNG's champions.
Of course.
But I don't think it's cut and dry, you know, 100-0 type.
Outscale, no.
No, I don't think
that.
you just win for free or anything like that. It's going to be down to the execution.
Exclamation
Cloud9 are
mark
gonna have their
Esports
opportunities.
Awards.
And I think with
Yeah, you can go to Esports Awards and vote. I got nominated for Color Caster of the Year. That's the last time I'll ever get nominated for that because I'm not a caster anymore. So if you want to support and help me win an award, you can do that. That would be really cool to have on my last year casting. I think it includes last year's casting too, like because I think this vote was before Worlds last year, so I guess it's like last year's Worlds plus this year. Because the vote always comes out before the World Championship. But it's just esportsawards.com.
That this Renekton is going to be quite powerful running into the next fight.
That'll be the last time I can
officials
win.
are now reporting Sven was having some issues with his peripherals, some keyboard issues. So they're trying to get that all solved out. We could see on screen one of the referees was talking to Sven. I've seen the players typing ready checks in chat, so I presume that we will get the official ready checks. We will be probably going back into it pretty quickly, but both teams have called ready, and we are seeing that it's unpausing now as I'm in game, so we'll be right back to it here.
Nice, we're back in game.
It's okay, guys. You needed that breather anyway. Go to the bathroom.
Where do you think Zeka could go if he leaves Hanwha Life?
It's only game 2. This is what I love about new format. Having the
I think he could
game day
go
in Swiss with the new format.
to
Going full out is fantastic. Welcome
LPL
back
maybe?
into the game. LNG, okay.
Chat, it's been like 30
Now
minutes
you
of
have more
pauses.
time. Go
The
and
ads
sort
are gonna
yourself
auto
out.
run in a sec. Fuck!
You know what? I will say, in this downtime, the food
It's been like 20 minutes of
is
pauses.
OP. Like, you know, I'm talking like a
I'll try and push
on
them back
release
as much as I
OP.
can.
Oh, God.
It's great. And the crazy thing about Korea is just you walk around in a street
Run them
and there's
now.
about 20 restaurants. You
Okay,
don't
I'll
know
run
where
them
you
now
are,
as quick
you
as I
don't know
can.
where you've stumbled upon, but all
You
of
can
a
use
sudden,
Prime to avoid these ads or
man,
Tier 1,
Roll
but
Rock,
I'm
get some
sorry.
good food.
Otherwise, they're going to
That's
get
right.
pushed in like 10
every
minutes.
single time.
And I'm not sure if this game is ending in 10 minutes. It's actually they're going to run in 9 minutes, 40
it's
seconds.
Crazy. So I
which
did
is
just
really
get an
fucking annoying,
update
these pauses.
for Sven again having the continued issues even after the unpause and pause.
Yep.
So they are going to be changing out his keyboard. So they're going to have to get a new peripheral for him.
Okay.
The issues are persisting, unfortunately. Obviously, not the ideal situation for anyone. It can be frustrating for both teams. Have to sit in that pause.
That's actually good they're changing keyboard. The ads people won't miss anything.
That these things are working properly.
Go get milk.
You can't be playing a game. Your whole
No, I don't want to.
year
I don't want to. Just in
is
case the
leading
game
up to this
starts.
point.
Like changing a keyboard
And
doesn't take that
It's
long.
just so important that you are comfortable that everything is working properly.
I mean, more to the point, right? We talked about the
Add
potential
this
upset
emote,
today
what is
that
this?
could lead to the 2-0 for either of these teams. I mean,
That is
obviously with
trash.
LNG coming in favourites, it's an LPL team. People might not rate
That was
North America
trash.
as highly. I mean, I know they don't. Sometimes is it wrong?
No.
No. No.
I was like, where's he going with this? This is very generous
I was trying
of
to be
you.
optimistic, and I'm like, I don't want to be a phony. I don't want to be a fraud, okay?
I mean, how many international titles has LPL won? Yeah, a few.
A few.
But
A few.
how many LCS titles has the LPL won?
None.
There you
True.
go. Yeah.
And also,
Cloud9 has won a
True.
lot.
I'll always remember MSI Team Liquid semi-finals versus IG.
Yeah,
that was
took 'em down.
heartbreaking for me. But
True.
And that was the end of
How
the
many
tournament.
LEC
And then
titles
everything
has
else
Faker
happened
won?
after
Huh?
that.
Well, that's right. I mean, they won, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won. They
Fuck,
beat
I really
the-
should have just ran and
the world
grabbed it.
champions IG, and then Team Liquid rode off into the sunset, and everyone clapped for them.
That's right. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
that's what happened at the end of that tournament.
I just remember everyone on the desk, I think at that time, was like, oh, I think Team Liquid have a real chance. And then, was it G2? No.
No, I can't recall.
Yeah, okay, great.
Not sure what you're referring to.
Oh, I love it.
Similarly to Cloud9, making it to World Semis, and then again, for some inexplicable reason, we just didn't play out the rest of the event.
Are we back?
Got
No,
to
we're not back.
semis, big success. Everyone cheered, and that was the end of it.
Run them
Remember
now.
What was crazy
Bro,
is,
this
like,
guy
IG
thinks
at
I'm
that
talking about
tournament
ads still.
was disappointing for me, because I was just casting LPL.
Bro,
I'm
you
like,
need to
man,
refresh the stream.
this
You're
team
like
could be
5
best
minutes
ever, won
behind.
Worlds, lost to Team Liquid.
You're
And
like
then they
5
went
minutes
to
behind.
Worlds in 2019, and the FPX semifinal.
Where the
versus
fuck are
IG
you
was
at?
Nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't remember who was on broadcast at the time, but
I wasn't casting that one, I don't think.
But
I've
still.
gotten to cast some really good LPL series over the years.
I know you have. I know. I've always been. I've always commented
Aw.
on how much of the LPL story how much you convey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I didn't play.
won the
on
first
this
game?
Being, an Azale pop-up session of
NRG
highlight,
won.
but
They
it just
destroyed.
happened.
They
But you just
destroyed
didn't
Team
get
Liquid.
any
I
of this
did plan on
yesterday?
it. I bribed
It
them.
wasn't even close,
did
to
you?
be honest. It was a
Alright.
fucking stomp. Where did Kellen go? Yo,
2019
Kellen, where
Worlds
you
is
at?
sick. I mean, that's again why people are excited for the Shy coming back. On a
Where
different
did
roster
Kellen go?
naturally,
Oh, he's
because
here.
Last time he was at Worlds and
Bro,
the World
I'm just
Championship
checking.
year as well, he was absolutely gnarly.
Yeah. The Shy is just such a fun player to watch. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I've been such a big fan of his since way back. Before the World Championship, I was still watching every single one of this guy's games because I was playing a lot of top lane at the time. And to me, he just exemplifies that kind of insane top laner, that hyper-aggressive top laner that's so fun to watch. Whether it's going well, whether it's going poorly, the Shy is going to make the game interesting.
Always.
And that's one of those things that is really fun about him. You can see they're clearly still working through things on stage.
Who isn't a fan of the Shy?
Hopefully will not
Okay?
be
You're
that
just
much
weird if you're
longer,
not.
But again, I
You're
mean,
just
it's
weird.
been a fun start to Worlds. I think for the Western fans, you always hope for those upsets because it makes the
Stop
tournament
saying me. You
unpredictable,
are. You're
right?
just
I
saying
think
it to try and be
that is
funny.
something that
You're just saying
everyone
it,
can enjoy.
and you're like,
you don't want it to be cut and dry. Where you're just
lol.
like, well, this
Bro,
team
shut up.
beats that team and then this team beats
You
that
are a
team
fan
and
of the
then
Shy.
ends, right? You have to play out the games. There's always upsets every single year at Worlds, and that's what makes groups and
It's
now
true.
Swiss,
That's a good way to sum
me,
up the
most
Shy.
fun part of
The Shy
entire
plays his lane phase, high risk, low reward.
While we get through this pause, we're going to throw it back to the analyst desk to run us through what we know so far.
Yeah.
Chat, should I run and get milk? Yeah, fuck it.
Hopefully it's what you don't know.
I
because
also
otherwise
love
you'd be saying-
upsets.
I also too
We can have
love
one right
upsets.
now, maybe?
We should. That would be
BRB, one
fun,
sec.
I guess, for
I'm
you.
gonna run.
You're right. Isaiah's always so positive-minded. We got
take
it.
me two-
You're
two-
from
1 minute.
Yes, I guess. Similarly for LEC,
I was going to say, not always.
as of recent, are we happy with this game state, Kobe? For
Yeah,
Frontline?
I think actually pretty happy. I was a little bit worried during the draft. Anytime you see them giving Scout Azir again and the Jax going over to Zika, those are two really, really powerful champions for their solo laners. And we literally had a segment at the beginning of the day. Scout was the best performing player yesterday on Azir as well. So I was definitely a bit nervous, a bit scared. But they have played out the mid game pretty well to set themselves up with some
The T1 guy who's helping me out saw me running, and he was like, hey,
that
stop. Your
C9's
streaming
game
is
plan
important.
very
I will go.
topside
And I was
focused
like,
this
what the
game,
fuck?
where
He's like,
they
yeah, I'll
tried
go
to
get you milk.
get the
And I was
Renekton
like,
ahead,
bro.
try to play through the Renekton.
What?
Renekton Sejuani is a tried and true
L
combo
top.
that we're very familiar, and that does mean that they play the weak side bot. The concern that you always
What a
have is that
Chad.
when you're hard committing in the draft to basically trade sides of the map, is that you then
This
make sure
guy's
you don't
crazy.
overcommit on one side, you're not making mistakes. And credit to C9, they're doing that very well. They're able to get the early Herald, they invested
T1
towards
staff
top,
W.
they get a kill onto Zika. The game is very even. And while the Renekton does have a lot of gold, my question then comes to Kobe. Do you trust Fudge to be able to be a
no,
carry?
I don't trust
what?
Renekton.
You don't
It's
trust
not about
Renekton?
Fudge. I
Oh,
don't.
you had us
When he
at
comes
first,
back,
huh?
we're going to say hello to him.
Yeah.
And this is
Everyone's
actually
going to say hello.
something
I'm going to move the camera.
95%
Actually, I don't know
of
if he wants to be on
Cloud9
camera.
fans
I'll
will
ask him.
relate to. They don't trust Renekton.
They don't trust it.
Want to drop kick Renekton out of most of our drafts, usually, especially if it's against Jax.
His name is Lane.
Towards
His
the later
name is Lane.
stages. But as he said, a lot of attention has gone that
L-A-N-E.
way. The Herald went up there. Blabber went up there. They got the turret dive in exchange for bottom side. And they actually didn't lose anybody on the cross-map play, even though they did let Zika get, or they did let Scout, I believe, push in an extra minion wave in mid lane and possibly get a turret plate there. So, you know, there are some things, but honestly, this is, it feels good to be on pretty close footing even.
Yeah. I would say it's the best case scenario. Okay, or, you know, being 10,000 gold ahead, that would be nice too.
There's a
But
sign
my
that says
question, of course,
Chovy.
is the lens of an Azir that is
Chovy.
scaling and a Tristana that is scaling. Yesterday, just the Azir that we saw, you said it already, giving over that Azir would not be my preference. It still happened, and now you have this game state where I think LNG are feeling quite in their element.
Well, I mean, LNG are a slow team. Historics always talks about that, like, when you cast them, you kind of get a bit of a weird, I don't know what the word is, but it's so different
Did
to
Bedius
what
just
he's
do
used
this?
to casting
Yeah.
because they are just a slower team. So I don't think they're out of
Get
comfort.
it.
And as you rightly said, they are comfortably scaling. They're a heavy investment.
You get
towards
like
bot
a,
side.
when you cast them, it's
Range
kind of
is the
like...
big thing that they have going in their kind of with their composition is built around Azir and Tristana is always a very terrifying front-to-back composition to have to play through, and this is where players like Fudge are going to need to be able to find flanks. Sven is going to have to play around Vision to be able to get onto that back line. That dive that this composition does have a lot of is going to be very difficult to execute, but if they find
yeah,
it,
can you
then it's
open
going
it
to
for me?
work
I don't know how
out
to
well.
open it.
I would say, by the way, for now too, this stage in the game, Sven has
Hey, Ron, this
been
is Lane. You
playing
wanna say hello?
quite well on the Rakan.
He's the
pincer
MVP,
from
he's
him and
carrying,
Blabber
everyone's saying
to burn
hi.
3 flashes off of Zika, Tarzan, and
Thank
Scout,
you.
and then get the dragon for themselves. We haven't seen yet the
He
ramifications.
helps
of
me
all
open the
those
milk.
flashes
I don't know how to
being
open these
blown, but
cartons. Look at
is
that.
a
Look, this is the
possible
milk in
opening,
Korea. Look at this.
for them. Obviously, I'm very
They have
high
like
on
these
Copium.
cartons. Look.
Copium right now.
You see that?
Copium.
No, I
And then
mean,
you have to
I
like
would
open
say
it like
Copium
that.
right now.
It's so
No,
weird.
Maybe it'll be Copium later.
No, is
I
it called Cobium?
See that? And then it
got my
opens
own
like that.
brand, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think it's fair to
What do
say
you mean,
that
are you a
C9's
child?
macro
No,
has
I
been
always have to ask him to
fantastic.
help it open for me.
I was one of
Help
those
him.
people.
I always have to
looking
ask him to
against
help
the
me
Mad
open it.
game, I'm like, okay,
That's why he was
you
like,
look
"You want me to help
better
you again?"
because Mad
I
is
was like,
heavily
"Yeah."
underperforming.
Oh, sorry. It's like Cap's dad.
Oh.
Fan favorite.
Yeah. Fan favorite, of course.
What do you mean it's a normal
I
carton?
feel like C9
Bro,
looks
it's
better
not.
because Mad is underperforming. But now
It's
in
not.
a
A
matchup
normal
against
carton
LNG,
has a
they're clearly
screw.
proving
You just do
no,
that.
That macro was not just a fluke. It wasn't just Mad underperforming. The macro's at a high level right now, and maybe you get uncomfortable when I start to sing the praises of C9.
Nice. We got
Right
milky
now.
coffee now.
Yeah.
Milky.
Wow.
Damn, look at
You're
that.
trying to do the interview meta where all of the mid laners and Eastern players are
They're
talking up our.
geniuses.
bit
Yeah,
more milk.
Eminence looks like a genius
Okay,
to me.
if you would like some Cobium, I've got a special brand here. Talking about the scrims, LNG is actually one of the teams that not just Cloud9, but a couple of NA teams had winning ratios against. So
Leaked!
I know that they actually at least came in with some good
the
confidence.
fake data coming out, I like it. Yeah.
You like some scrim?
Did
Scrim
he
data?
just say that NA
Okay,
teams had winning win
the
rates against
tournament
LNG in
officials are
scrims?
assessing how this pause affects the game state currently.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
Not
know.
gonna read
That
into
sounds
it.
very ominous.
What?
We're
But yeah.
not gonna read into it. We're just
How
gonna
this pause
say what
affects
we're
the
told.
game state?
But the current TLDR and the current situation is both teams are very even.
Yeah.
A lot of the
What
gold
do you mean,
is
the
sitting on
pause? What-
Fudge,
how would the
whereas
pause
for
affect the game
LNG,
state?
A lot of it is sitting
It's not
on.
like they paused
Funnily
in a
enough,
fight.
Scout, I thought that Gala, I mean, I don't remember the exact gold advantage, but I do know that
All right,
Scout
let's
was
try
quite
some
far ahead just
Korean
because
beef
they keep
jerky.
sending him off to catch those towers and those waves on the side lane. But ultimately, these fights is where it gets very scary for C9. So objective setup, the way that they actually approach
What
these
the
fights is going to be
fuck?
super important for them moving into the meta late game.
Yes, and I wanted to bring something up in terms of LNG. You know, we say.
How do you make
often,
beef
I'm
jerky?
actually
Do you, like,
saying it, 'cause I
freeze
think It's
it?
great. LPL, most
Oh.
gruesome region to qualify for Worlds out of the playoffs. The Gauntlet is like the biggest eliminator in all of esports in LPL, and specifically LNG. They lost Game 5 of the finals. The next morning, in the same stadium, they had to qualify to Worlds. They did in the end because they're here.
Okay,
to
well, we're not
face
trying that
LNG.
anymore.
And the key here is also, you know, in playing JDG and all those teams, you're team fighting all the time. You have to be on point. You have to take the 1% plays all the time. That is why I am getting a bit nervous. I don't want to be a glass half full kind of girl.
I don't like that.
A lot of us came into this matchup nervous.
Yeah.
So
Next
Okay,
one.
good.
What do we have?
And also, I don't have a horse in this race, but you know,
Yeah, I mean,
I want to
obviously,
see a good game.
LNG are certainly
What do we
favored
have?
here. I think one angle for Cloud9 is I'm hoping that we do get to see some big Kaisa plays from Berserker.
We have the crisps
Berserker
again.
is a huge star on Cloud9. He has basically the tournament favorite champion for AD carry right now in Kaisa. So
Stop saying
many
Subway Andy.
possible plays to be made here. And with Sven and Blabber currently playing quite well on the setup champions of Rakan and Sejuani, there's definitely a world, you know, where we make some picks, we make some plays. There are no flashes on the top side of LNG.
I'm not a
You don't
Subway
need to
Andy.
like, I love the way that you're just like, Vedius, I'm really trying to convince you here, and I'm just like, I agree. I think that the game state right now is very like, it could go either way, is the way I see it. Like, yeah, the longer the game goes,
Okay, that's
the
enough,
LNG
Chris.
can definitely make it harder, but we'll have to see.
Yes, I do have an update for you. The tournament officials have determined that the instance of the pause took place at a game-critical moment, and they're performing a chrono break to a dead ball state.
I
So we have a
wonder-
little bit of time.
I wonder where that is. Yeah.
Same. I don't know if we can get the moment before the pause, perhaps, or I don't know if production wants to do that.
Wait,
but
we're gonna do
it's
some-
nice
I wonder if
to
it
see.
was.
For some inexplicable reason, we just didn't play
When
out
did
the
they
rest of the
pause?
event.
Yep.
Got to semis, you know, big success. Everyone cheered, and that was the. Obviously, has been cycling really well. So, you know, going into
Game critical?
towards that Navori, very standard stuff. Kaisa obviously has been cycling through
Is that the first pause?
well.
Yeah,
So,
it's not-
you know, going in towards that Navori, very standard stuff. Kaisa obviously has been cycling through a lot
That
of
is the
different
first
builds,
pause.
and you do see the full kind of early lethality build for that super early spike. This is
This
you know,
is
much more
not.
of a
This is not the
ceiling
next
style
one.
build.
They just pan back to the game. Look.
No.
No, I
This
can't
is not the.
recall.
This is not a second pause.
Great.
Not sure what you're referring to.
They just.
I
Oh
love
wait,
it.
this is the
Similarly
second
to
pause.
Cloud9,
Oh,
you
it
know,
is. It
making
is.
to
Yeah,
World
they're in a
Semis
fight.
And then again.
Okay, they're in
For
a
some
fight. Wait, when
inexplicable
did that
reason,
get
we just didn't play
unpaused
out the rest of the event.
Yep.
When did that get
Was
unpaused?
it G2? No.
No, I can't recall.
here.
Yeah.
Just going in towards that Navori, very
What?
standard stuff. Kaisa obviously has been cycling through a lot of different builds, and you do see the full kind of early lethality build for that super.
Oh yeah, here.
Okay.
Yeah, Sejuani's in
All
a
out.
fight.
It's fantastic. Welcome back into the game.
Yeah.
보는 입장이나
그래서 조금 더 성장하지 않았.
How are we in an interview? What the fuck?
I want to say I grew a lot in terms of the game knowledge and also in terms of the mentality. So I've become a lot stronger in both
Did I miss the
aspects.
game?
So I want to say I've become a lot more mature.
That's amazing to hear, and you're the only remaining member of this iteration of LNG back then. You guys picked up Gala also for summer. Tell me more
No, they
about
didn't,
LNG
chat. This
for
was
the people
before the
who
game.
haven't been following the LPL this year. What can we expect from you guys at Worlds?
그리고 그 당시 로스터에서 지금
It was
현재
either yesterday
로스터에
or before the
남아있는
game.
이런 선수가 또 타전 선수이고 이번 이제 서머 시즌에 갈라 선수도 영입이 됐는데요. LPL을 챙겨보시지 않는 그런 분들을 위해서 LNG로부터 어떤 모습 기대해봐도 좋을지 한번 말씀 부탁드립니다.
일단은 간략하게 소개를 해드리면은 일단 탑은 주카 일단은 굉장히 든든한 선수이고요. 정글 뭐 타자 말할 거 없고 미드 원딜도 말할 거 없이 든든한 딜러진이고 항 서포터도 굉장히 조금 힘이 넘치는 친구예요.
So I want to give you guys a brief introduction of my team. Top, solid, jungle, no need to mention. Mid AD carry, of course, solid, and support. I want to say he's a strong player.
I
Shut
love
up.
the confidence. With what I love the most, with having you
You're
at
so
Worlds here,
annoying.
Tarzan, is the Griffin reunion that we're gonna have once again with so many players of this.
You're so
2019
weird. You
roster
are just
being here
weird.
at Worlds. Did you guys keep a good relationship with them? And
You're
which
weird
one
as
in
fuck.
particular are
You
you
know that?
looking to face?
그리고 또 하나 말씀드려야 될 게
More milk
바로
on
이제
the
이번
coffee.
월드를 통해서
Milky
이루어지는 그 19년도 그리핀 선수들의 또 재결합 많은 분들이 기대하고 있는데 지금도 좋은
yeah, we need to
친분
catch up.
유지하면서 잘 지내고 계신지 그리고 가장 기대되는 그런 매치업이 있다면 어디인가요?
일단은 전에 그리핀 선수들 만나면 경기에서 만나면 되게 재밌을 것 같고 최대한 높은 데서 만났으면 좋겠고 그리고 어제 시간이 잠깐 돼가지고 이제 리엔즈 선수랑 초비 선수랑 같이 밥 한번 먹었어요.
Yeah, it would be really fun to have a matchup up against my former teammates from Griffin, and I wish it
Chovy,
happens
Tarzan,
later in the
Viper.
stage.
Bro,
and
it's crazy.
yesterday I had some free time, so I had dinner with Chovy and Lehans.
Oh, the reunion. Indeed. Thank you so much.
Aw,
Tarzan.
they had dinner.
축하드립니다. 인터뷰 감사합니다. Jisun, thank you as well. And you guys, back to you.
Thank you, lore from the past. Amazing. Dinner, eh? At least they didn't go swimming. Because in Europe, that leads to
that's
things.
code, yeah.
That's code. Maybe this is code.
Ah, yeah, if you go
I don't
swimming in
think
Europe,
so. We're
GG.
hoping to get back into the game pretty quickly. Of course, I think we should be close.
What?
Even though
Okay, so
there's this video
basically,
behind us. No, you get out
back
of
in the
that once we
days,
get back into the
in
game.
2019,
Don't worry about it. I
if
think
you went
we've
to a hot tub
exhausted
with
kind of
someone,
our-
or you went
I'm
for a
hoping that
swim,
we
it
get
means that they're going
an
to try and
actual look
poach
at
you.
where the game is going back to. They said they're working
We're
on
getting it now.
getting the exact point.
So-
that,
It means
that's
they're basically
really
poaching you.
Okay. So this
Because
is
I think
what
they were
led
by
to
the
it.
pool, I think, when Perks decided that they were going to get caps or
Dead
something.
ball right now. So I'm assuming we'll just go
Well,
back to
was it
whatever
Perks
this
and
is.
caps or something? I can't remember what it was. It was
Whatever
someone.
this is.
Great. I mean,
So I mean, Baron's alive.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. Come on, give us some insight. Hope.
the ball is dead. That's what the... Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just go back to before they jump on Blabber, I guess.
yeah.
But now they know Lee Sin mid and
That's pretty dead, right?
Alistar is top.
I don't.
I mean,
think
it's
so.
only Lee Sin and Alistar there. Both solo laners are in their side
I'm
lanes.
kidding. We're not gonna
I'm a little
pontificate about
confused,
that.
but you know
The,
what?
the ball
players,
is
the
looking
league
pretty dead to
officials-
me.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's
now
a
like-
rule. The rule is you
Wadi
can't
does not
unpause
go
in a
down.
fight.
Many alive balls in my time, and I can tell you right now that is not one of them.
I think it would be in our best interest if we move on from this terminology.
Where's medic? I mean,
I know.
do we need a doctor over here? Can we pronounce this one alive or dead?
I don't know. I'm
I
hoping we get
just
back into the
realized
game.
what we've been saying.
Yeah, I know. I know. But I'll let you guys go for a while.
Probably
Anyways,
so funny.
as I said, I think we've exhausted kind of our predictions because we know what the champions are. We know how they scale and what they do. All we can do is believe in C9, and maybe we can parlay this into a bigger, do we believe
Spoiler,
generally
Blabber
in
dies.
C9? Are they
Spoiler, you're
emerging as kind
permabanned.
of your NA frontrunner?
Now what, pussy?
Emerging over the last
2 days.
8 years, I think,
Yeah.
of international play of North America, so for sure.
Yeah.
Start the
for Cloud9,
game.
we've
Start
come to
the
become
game.
reliant on this team a lot of times. And I will say that, once again, since they did actually have a lot of good scrim ratios versus LPL teams, they actually came in with a lot of confidence.
Someone's just told
And
me.
confidence,
Okay.
you're going to need that
Listen.
in these mid and late game
There's a
team fight
chance
scenarios,
in this
which is where
tournament-
the game is won.
I have,
Especially versus
Right?
LNG.
There's a
I
chance
have
in this tournament, right?
skepticism around
C9,
North America's
they
ability
beat Mad,
to
right?
Make good fights happen.
Okay.
Just in general.
You
see-
said, actually,
So
I
if
prefer
C9
you
lose
said
this
in
game,
general.
Yeah, I
they're
do.
You
1-1.
were like, no,
Ambitious.
it's actually
If
only
Mad
one.
beat
Because
BDS
he's trying
next
to
game,
paint
they're
our
also
line.
1-1.
Yeah,
because
it's
I
one
mean, I
brush.
watched the semifinals.
So that means
I
that
watched the
C9 could
finals,
play
and I
against
was
Mad
like,
again.
Yeah.
I was disappointed
And they could win.
in the fact that they
And they could be 2 and 1.
That's it. We have to go to
And
the
then Mad
couch.
1 and 2
Medius does not like the LCS.
could go
ahead.
and win and go 2-2. And C9 could lose again to like whoever's 2 and 1 and go 2-2.
Sorry,
And they
buddy.
could play again.
Welcome back to the cast now, ladies and gentlemen. If you just
And
tuned
then
in, League of
C9
Legends
could
have
qualify
back
by going
to
3-0, can't they?
35.
They can't. You can't play again already. There's no repeat
Thank
games.
you for your
Okay, good.
patience. C9 come back from the corner break.
Well, I
And
just wasted
here's
your
the
time.
Baron.
Zick has no TP.
Oh, Scout's dead!
Starting with action. Scout with a 3-man and he's dead. C9 come back and all of a
Azael's
sudden,
hyped as fuck!
game goes back.
Gala jumped!
Hog is knocked in the pit.
He's flashing out. Well,
Yo, wait. They can win, they can win. What happened? Just unpause and Scout died?
4v5 with Zika coming towards mid.
Don't let Tarzan steal
This
it.
is
Western
crazy.
Barons.
Yeah, Zika is moving up. They're gonna
Just
try to
fudge,
go
flash
for
over.
it.
Yeah.
Get out, they got
Flashes
fish.
in onto LNG.
He has Q on Renekton. Oh, Renekton dashed out. Oh my god, fudge.
LNG will lose out and Cloud9 have the objective for North America.
Holy fuck.
Decisive out of the pause there.
Yo, the Observer.
That was madness.
The Observer
We had
needs to
go
sort the
back a
shit
couple
out.
seconds because from that dead ball state, there was a potential of a fight.
What
breaking
happens?
out, but
C9
Cloud9
just
saying,
forced
"Yeah,
Nash?
You're gonna make a fight break out. You want to go to dead ball? We're gonna make it happen." They engage over the wall.
Bro,
onto
C9
Scout.
was
The
ready
CCG
on
was
that.
Great Berserker in with the killer instinct.
C9 was
And
ready.
We're back here. Great blast going there from Blabber, knocks Hong into the pit, and he has to flash straight out, so it's only up to Tarzan, and Fudge says, no way are we gonna 50-50
Renekton does well here. Flash over, stun, then he gets kicked, but Tarzan kicks him with Q, which is smart. So then Fudge dashes out of the pit, because he knows he has Q on him, then Tarzan gets Q up again.
That was beautifully
Was actually
done
really
by
really
Cloud9. Start to
interesting
finish,
fight.
to engage on Scout, the peel to deny Tarzan. That was perfect, and that explodes the game all of a sudden from what had felt like dead even, back and forth the whole time. We get action, and we get a clear
I think
advantage,
LNG was a
and
bit
now
caught off
Cloud9
guard.
potentially
They unpause,
can
and
move
now
towards this
C9's on
next
Baron?
round as well. They can
Like
try to
what?
clear some turrets off the map. They can
I think
try to
they weren't-
grab this
they- like, they
Dragon.
weren't really,
Let's see
like-
what they can get done.
After waiting so long, I feel like I'm going to need one of these Red Bull Baron power play. 1500 for C9 to kick us off. And ladies and gentlemen, what a power move coming back into the game to experience that. Now, with an almost 2k gold lead, Zell is eluding 30 seconds till the Dragon. Let's take stock of the game that we've come back into all of a sudden with 2 item AD carries, 2 item mid laners crucially. Scout the TP to come in as they try and
Drake's
pick
up in
Tarzan.
20. They need to get
Sonic
midwave.
waves in, looking
What are
to
they
kick
doing?
back.
What is LNG
Only
doing?
finds Blabber,
Wait, what is
but
Blabber
not
doing?
going
It's
too
fine, no?
Scout boops him further. Flash away from Blabber as LNG try to converge around the turret. Blabber down the summoner.
I thought he could just flash the Azerald and then they could fight, but he got split too much.
This is problematic though for Blabber because
C9 needs to
the
get
Dragon's
some
spawning,
fucking
and he
grow
can
some
actually
balls,
base. He has
man.
no time to do so.
If Blabber flashed that
we'll
Azerald,
see.
they
Can
could fight.
Cloud9 still
He
get
could
in
just
there?
ult
He doesn't
them.
have that barely
What
gold.
happened?
They try to
C9 had a
buy
fight
time.
there.
He's gonna try to take the red and use that to heal up. They want to get that.
They have
but
no
Gala's
Rakan
just
ult now,
starting
but I
the
guess there's
Dragon.
no
They're
Lee Sin
trying
or
to force
Azerald.
right now.
Don't drop this Drake. Don't give them soul points. What are we doing, C9? They're trading it for a mid-tier one. Oh no. They can win a fight.
Yeah, C9, really getting punished pretty heavily there. They wanted
Fight
to
them.
have a
Don't let
little
them
chip
through
play
here.
on
Don't let
Tarzan,
them through this
but the
choke.
amount of
Fight them.
displacement
Fight
in
them.
this
Kill
team
this
is
guy.
just,
He's
what is he
griefing,
doing?
man. Just kill him. Like, just fight.
How badly did he want to die as C9 get one off the back
The
end?
6th member
Yo,
of Cloud9 goes in and gives him a freebie, apparently. That was bizarre. Maybe there was some sort of a miscommunication between him and the rest of the team, but that looked weird.
As they're trying to dive, Scout flashes away. Hang on, C9 to unleash Gala.
Where's my
Getting
Syndra ult?
for the time being, but not too much damage. Just the flashing from Tarzan.
Oh, Zika!
3-man! C9 running up the turret in control, but LNG can never be discounted. From a deficit, they fire
Oh,
again.
Zika.
Again!
They take everyone down. Berserker gets out, but it's in the 4v5. They find the angle coming from both sides.
Oh,
Tarzan
Zika.
from one side with a beautiful kick. The alley-oop for Zika. And he gets so much here, devastating for Cloud9. They're pushing in. They're trying to look for these aggressive plays. Again, I'm just not sure what that was. He gives over the
That was
freebie, but
stupid
it ends up not
advice?
even
What do you mean it was
mattering.
stupid
You can see
advice?
Fudge on the bottom
They get a
screen
Zero
pushing
flash was
away.
good, but what happens? They're good here. They're good with Scenario. Oh, that was an insane kick from... That's what I call clutch. The play idea is fine, but that's called clutch right there. Also, I think Syndra flashed back on top of her teammates.
The rookie top laner.
That was insane. They just clutched the game.
So deserving of praise. His Jax needs to be banned away.
What is this replay? Does he get shuffled into his team?
Reasons. They've left
Oh my god, Scout is... Scout.
He loses both summoners alpha as well.
God. These players are just too fucking good, man. Like, what do you want to say?
Baron, it amounted to nothing at all. They didn't get the Dragon with the Baron. They're now up against Soul. And Berserker just died and lost both summoners, so he won't have those summoners.
These players are just too fucking good.
Fight for what could potentially be the fight that decides the game. You know, in a matter of minutes, this game has just gone back and forth so incredibly quickly. It went into the favor of Cloud9. They get the Baron. You think, okay, from here, you take the second Dragon, you clear some towers off the map, you create a big advantage.
Stop saying, bro, what are you guys writing?
But all of a sudden, LNG get Dragon. They win the fight around mid. Berserker dies and loses sums, and now you're thinking, Cloud9, you're probably in a terrible spot for this next fight.
Scout threatening again. But that Baron power play
Everyone spam XPP. Everyone's right XPP. There's too much degeneracy in this chat.
It's
right
gotta be
XPP.
negative, for sure. And
Rats.
the fact that it's now 3
Own the
Dragons for
normies.
LNG, the fact that Blabber, you know, him and
Good
Sven
job.
were kind of looking for this pokey play onto Tarzan, you know, previous to that, and he ended up having to flash out. He gets
Good
pushed
job,
out,
chat.
so he couldn't challenge
Good
the
job.
Dragon. They lose the team.
All right,
fight
2
in
minutes
that
on Drake.
5v4. It's just beautiful flank from Tarzan and Zika at the same time. Perfectly executed.
Cleanse
on
the
that.
chat. Yeah, nice.
You can never underestimate this team. LNG is just so good in these decisive moments. And now you're looking at the item completions. It's 3 items in for Gala. He's got the BT. That Zonia's is now coming.
Nah, it's just
for
a nice
Scout.
ultra
Eminence
fed.
is so far from his 3rd item. Berserker is closing in on
Nah,
his.
it's done. This game's done.
But you're going to have to take this soul fight. Or
Have
the
to
game
just
could be
full send
over.
the C9.
And at
No
the same
flash on
time,
Gala,
the
no
Baron's
flash on
gonna be
Azir.
up
Just
before that.
fucking
There's
send it.
possibilities of trying to
Come
trade
on,
Baron
miracle
for-
play on this
for
Nash.
that
Full send.
Dragon. You know, Cloud9, they have to fight it. LNG doesn't
Just
care.
start
They
it
can
when it
give up a
spawns.
Dragon
Who
if they get a
cares?
Baron
Just go
from it or get
fight.
something else from it. Where Cloud9 has no options. They
I'm
basically are
watching
forced
this
to.
Azir.
So they may
Tristana
actually try to
outscale my
preempt
fucking
this by
nutsack.
just starting up Baron again. I think they want to get the TP off Zika. I think there's potential for them to just start this on spawn and try to force the Jacks to respond.
And again, for LNG, as they walk towards it, trying to get that TP, but might lose the base in the process.
Just start. Mid-wave and start. Guys,
well, by the way, so
oh my
turret
God.
damage is going to be massive. Minions
The longer
gonna
they wait,
shred.
the worse it's gonna get.
And LNG have just grasped back the river somehow with 4 members.
Yep. Fudge had the base to answer, so Cloud9 worked.
No, they just lost bots here too for free.
You know, Gall is pushing up
And
mid.
now
They
LNG
get the
have
tier 2
vision.
bot. Cloud9 starting to really feel the heat here. The Baron is now live. LNG reclaims the vision.
They had
around
miracle
it.
Baron play.
They are
Oh,
in their
Alistar's
comfort
basing
zone
on a
now.
ward.
They don't need to do
Hey, just
anything
wait
except just
wait.
for this Infernal. Make sure that they
Oh,
have the
Kai'Sa
setup for
based.
that Infernal. Where Cloud9, there's a
Oh my
lot
god,
of
now
pressure on
Drake's
them
gonna
now.
spawn and
They know
Jax
that
can
Sven is
solo
in
it
this
while they
area,
hold top.
and if he oversteps, could be in danger.
What are these
Wonder if they can do
timers,
anything
man?
with the information that hung back
This
the
map
way.
is a
Looks
mess.
Like the timing's just not there, but Ward over the wall to spot them out as Sonic Wave connects, but again, just trying to threaten out C9.
So many big purchases have now come through. Zonia's done for Zika. Zonia's done for Scout. You can see now the 3rd item done for Blabber as well. He grabs the
This
Abyssal.
Dragon spawn is
We
gonna
have a
fuck
3rd item
everything.
in for Fudge there
Jax
with the
can
Black
just solo
Cleaver,
it
so
while
everyone
LNG
seems
just
to finish
stares
those
at
3rd
C9
items.
doing
We'll see.
nothing.
Berserker has
Oh,
no
here we
time
go,
to back,
TP.
so he just bought a stopwatch, and so
But
did
now
Eminence. Here
Rakan
comes the
W'd
TP.
out.
They're going to look for the deep flank.
It's a big one as well. Could be game
Oh, they have no
changing
Rakan W.
from
Wait.
Fudge.
1 sec, please. Just 1 sec. Need to go on Azir. Or Tristana, that's fine.
The king of AD carries in North America.
Get Gala!
One down in China. Fudge helps out. Big shutdown. LNG
Oh my god,
lose a
Fudge
man,
is
but
running
21.
it.
Now Fudge targeted and Tarzan to finish the kill.
Oh,
Zika
Zika.
flashes, and the rookie from the LPL.
Where is MNS? NA teams, stop playing Syndra. Where is this guy? He has ult flash. Syndra's not in the same game. Renekton's flashing on Azir with no rage. Everyone's just dizzy, man. The only person who's like on it is their jungle AD support.
But it took them way too long to kill Gala.
Look at
here.
Fudge.
Is coming, so they look for the engage over on
They go on Blabber. Sven is smart. Sven and Berserker instantly go on Tristana. Now watch Renekton. Where is my bro going?
Gala just lives so long.
Then he flashed W's Azir with no rage. Now look at MNS. Where's he going, bro?
There's so much movement with both the Kai'Sa and the Rakan. They can follow up on this.
Now they got
can get in
Soul
there with the
and
backline,
Nash.
But Fudge was never really a part of the fight. MNS was never really a part of the fight, and that's the problem here. LNG just played it out so well. They kite
Where is
back
he going?
towards that top side. Now they have gotten the Soul, and I think
Oh,
that's
it's so
gonna be
hard.
all
Maybe
she
the
wrote for
fight,
this one.
maybe the
Cloud9
fight
are
angle is
still gonna
hard
fight
because
on.
I mean the counter argument is Kai'Sa, Sejuani, Rakan all dive too deep and Syndra can't follow. I get it.
Out executing in
I get it.
back-to-back team fights,
But still,
showcasing their prowess in these
the
pivotal
Syndra
moments.
champ.
Now claiming the Soul, now having a 5,000 lead, and they have all the cards.
I hate this
Can't
Syndra
make a
champ.
mistake against LNG. It's been said
I
many
hate it.
times throughout the LPL year. but LNG specifically in those finals against JDG capitalized well. Here against Cloud9, the same again. The same against Fnatic yesterday in their early game. That's what makes LNG so dangerous. The Scout has to flash away, at least Blabber forcing out with the Glacial Prison.
I think Blabber's playing good this game.
And this hard push that's going to come from Gala to open up the base.
Fudge had good moments too.
Jumping in. I mean, Fudge has
I just think they're outclassed.
Zika has the LPL.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just outclassed. They have good plays, but they don't transition anything into anything. They can't.
We've got level 18 Jax, working
They
towards
also
his
had
fourth item.
very
We've got
poor
Scout
Drake
working
control.
towards his death cap. He's level 17. M&S
They're
is
just,
2
like,
levels
individually
down. Doesn't even
outclassed.
have his third item. He's so far behind. Berserker as well, way behind the curve here. Cloud9 just don't really have
Jax
the damage.
1v2s
You
them.
mentioned the soul.
They're trying so hard to kill Zika. He just thinking about jumping back in. Makes it so hard again as he ends up doing exactly that.
Yeah, they just can't hurt him. I mean, you basically need Berserker there to kill anyone at this point.
And then what do you lose because of it?
Exactly, you lose everything.
Well, Infernal Soul to boot as well. He jumps up at Berserker. That might be the last mistake you make here in this game. LNG moments away from being the first team to 2-0 here in the Swiss stage. To be on match point, as it were, to go to the best.
Scouts basing without someone. Oh no, it was Zika basing. I don't know. I thought it was
Trying
Scouts.
to engage onto LNG as Sven had a great
Oh, Berserker! Oh, Berserker Sven! Yo, team!
Buy some time. Tarzan with no Sonic Wave, but Scout still finds him on the back end. While C9 to pick apart.
Nice M&S.
Eventually get Zika, but what is the cost? What is the
It's Scout time, baby.
LNG
One carry left, but his name is Scout.
into the base. There's not
Oh, nice try! Nice try. Nice try.
Blabber running for his life. It's a long haul here as Cloud9 looks
Nice
to
try.
keep them from thwarting their chances to move to safety.
Respectable attempt.
C9 getting buffed
I rate
away,
it.
though, by Scout to Zir,
But
who
Scout
gets
is daddy.
7 kills this time around.
Scout is
18
Papa.
kills in
Papa
total in
Scout.
2 days. Our
You don't
MVP
fuck with
of
him.
the split continues to perform, and LNG moved to match point.
LNG coming out on top, 2-0. They'll move into the best of threes. As you said, they could be one of those first teams to advance from the Swiss stage. A really competitive back and forth game
Oh,
here.
please. What I want
Cloud9
is Gen G
really
to
looked
win
good
and
for a
then
lot
Gen
of
G
it.
LNG.
Really
Please,
did
please,
push
please.
LNG.
Just give
taking
me
that
one
early
game of
bearing
Gen
from
G
there.
LNG, please.
Things were looking good,
Please,
but I'm
man.
sure they really wish they could have everything after that back because LNG in the 4v5 crushed them.
Or T1
with the
LNG, I don't
multi-prong
care, but
attack
Gen
when
G
they tried to
LNG would
use
be
the tier
crazy.
2 mid. Then again, out-team fight them off of that long flank in from Fudge, where Fudge and M&S couldn't get involved. LNG were more coordinated, more precise in the 5v5s, and that's really where this game was decided. But it was definitely a close one. Cloud9 fighting down to the bitter end.
Yeah.
The Soul making such a difference, though. Even though they do kill off Gala, they had to give up
I don't
Berserker
want
to do it.
JDG
They
LNG.
just don't
I don't
really have
want
enough
the
damage
game
left in the
11.
tank to make anything happen after that.
It's a
No.
rough one, but ladies and gentlemen, we'll sit on that. At least happy that C9 is hitting 1-1, have many more chances. We're going to go to a break, but when we return, of course, Europe has their own domestic rivalry to go to.
All right, boys,
And
EU
BDS
fans.
after this.
It's time. It's time for the sloppiest, messiest fucking fist fight of the world. Here we go. God, 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 God.
A team against a king. Seeing against believing. A moment
Wait,
against a
I'm being told that you can play the same team again. Apparently the rules say that you can play the same team again.
the realm. The only thing
Wait, so you C9 could play against Mad 3 times in a row and get to knockouts.
and the worldwide spectacle we know and love.
Oh shit.
AKA the Cisco network.
That's cooked. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen, right? Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Prage. Prage. Alright, what jersey do we wear today? BDS or Mad jersey? But I don't know what to wear. BDS. I can't, man. Mad is EU. I know they're... Mad did lose to NA, though. They always lost to NA. Mad are frauds. What do we do? I have a workaround. Hold up, I have a workaround.